Hey, what's up, everybody? Thursday night. So, guess what? We're drinking. We're drinking, and we're talking beer, and it's kind of a light beer flow show. Kind of like, hold on 1 second. It's happening. We got enough people here. You got technical difficulties popping up everywhere. But, of course, it is me, Rajay, and I am here with Todd and Shannon. So, how you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Doing good.
Good, yeah.
Thirsty Thursday.
Yeah, and Eric is off somewhere in Mexico, and Joe is off killing somebody. No, Joe's not killing anybody.
Off on a covert mission.
Yeah, so he's off somewhere where he's not here. No, he had to actually work and stuff tonight, so he won't be in. Although knowing Joe, and if he gets freed up, he might pop some things in the comments. I'm trying to look over my computer to turn this other thing off. Give me 1 second here. I've got like all these different screens and setups happening.
I think Eric just commented he might
try to get in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Eric's down. I don't know if he's still in Mexico City or somewhere down in Mexico. I think he was flying to a different hotel today. He's like kind of touring Mexico right now. So.
Oh, okay.
And hopefully you can get in. Hopefully you can get back from Mexico. So doubt the wall will be finished by then.
You'll have to learn to jump the wall.
Yeah. So what are you guys drinking tonight?
Amorous IPA from Donham Day Brewing Company, which is a little micro, well, actually probably a nano brewery, I guess, in New Albany, Indiana, which is about less than 10 miles from our house.
Okay. So a little local spot and everything.
Yeah. But they actually, I don't know, when's the crossover from nano to micro? They actually had like 10 beers of their own on tap.
Oh, really? Yeah.
But I don't think they have that many brew kettles, so I don't know what the definition defines for nano to micro.
I don't know. I think nano might be, and I haven't looked at it in a while, but I was thinking like 50,000 barrels or something, but it might be less than that even.
So they're probably nano, maybe.
Small one, yeah.
But they also now make their own spirits. So they have like, it's a brewery I mentioned before. Remember the last year when you had the top up and coming breweries from each state? I think you had that, and they were the #1 for Indiana.
Nice.
They also make apple brandy,
make vodka,
vodka, gin, I think, and bourbon whiskey.
Nice.
Yeah, so they just started doing that like maybe the middle of summer last year, middle of summer to fall last year.
Okay.
Pretty cool little place. It's a little bitty place. I mean, it's not real big, but it's a nice little cozy place. They don't have like any TVs or anything. They just have a bunch of board games, and they kind of just push, to be there. You're not just glued to the TV. They kind of promote trying to just talk to one another and
socialize with the other customers,
with everybody else. Yeah.
Okay. Well, they got it's kind of cool to actually do that, to go out to some of the small spots, because they usually have a lot of fun things you can do and kind of just hang out, like you said.
Yeah. Well, we decided we went last night, and they were supposed to have like an open mic night, I guess, but it was they were calling it a jam session. It was the first time they were doing it, so they were kind of inviting people to come and play their own instruments or whatever, music or whatever they wanted to do for the night, like just rotate in and out.
Right.
Kids are welcome there too. They can, it's kid friendly, so they were inviting kids to even come play or whatever. So we got there and there was like 6 or 8 people at the bar, which is about all the bar holds. And then they got maybe 6 or 7 tables, I guess, to sit at, 8 tables maybe. And there was nobody playing music. So it was the first night. So I'm not sure, on a Wednesday, I'm not sure. They were just going to try it out and see how it goes.
So open mic and everybody was afraid to play music.
Yeah. So we sat and had a couple appetizers and had a flight of beers, and she was venturing out and trying a couple different styles, and then decided she liked the IPA. So
I liked it all except for the porter. I wasn't a fan of the porter. We tried a lot of different types, but I didn't like the porter.
What do you like about the porter?
I don't know. I don't think I'm far enough in to know what I didn't like yet, but it just didn't taste good to me.
If you like maybe the roastiness of it, or
maybe I can't remember. I tasted so many different. I had an IPA. I had a stout. I had a Belgian
Scotch ale.
Yeah, Scotch ale.
Coconut porter.
Yeah, that was good.
Joe.
Yeah,
they had a try.
Joe would have liked that. Yeah,
that was good.
They haven't released it yet, but you were able to do some samples of it.
Okay.
And it was really light. It was only like 3.9 ABV or something, which was kind of odd for being I know porters aren't real high in ABV anyway, but that seemed kind of low.
Yeah.
And then your Whittle Moon.
Oh yeah, that one's the best.
Which is like a Belgian wet beer.
Yeah, that one's my favorite.
So what did you think of the what do you like, let's just say, about the IPA? What stands out about it for you?
Oh dear God. I don't know. It's just like with any of them, I'm just used to drinking like the Bud Light. So when I take a drink of it, it's like I almost get more flavor after I swallow it. It's just like everything's just different. It's just like there's so many different flavors you can taste. But mostly for me, it's like after I swallow it. I was watching a video that's called The Finish. So I like the finish.
Okay. It is called, yeah. It is the finish. There's so many jokes I just left out there, though.
Oh, they'll be coming in on the comments. Somebody will hit them for you.
Yeah, Eric Gilbert's in the chat, so he says cheers. Maybe Eric will pick those up and run with those a little bit there. So
I'd be disappointed if he didn't, actually. Probably.
It's like a challenge. Like, somebody come up with a line for that one, right? Come up with a joke. What would you insert there?
So the funny thing is, all this time I've been trying to get her to do craft beers, and she would sip them every now and again and just like, no. And then all of a sudden, about a month ago, we went to Donham Day, and she had that Whittle Moon, the Belgian style, and it was like, I don't know, it was just something just kind of clicked a little bit, and then kind of doing some of these hangouts, it's just all, now she's diving into it.
Yeah, I'll get obsessed with it for probably about 3 months, and then I'll move on to something else.
Yeah.
It's usually what I do.
So I guess I have to run with it while I can.
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably still drink it, but I won't like I ordered a book on Amazon about craft beer, so I just want to learn all I can about it.
Look at that. You're getting all into it now. So
I do.
Well, that's good. We could have Shannon do some of the female shows and stuff as well.
We'll see.
You and Jessica together.
Yep.
And then Steven from Eclipse Brewing in the chat says, good day, mate. Hey, all. Welcome, Steven, out there in Seattle. We're actually feeling like Seattle today. It was a gloomy, rainy day. Supposed to get snow at some point here, I guess. Are you guys supposed to get part of that storm down there?
Yeah, they're calling maybe 2 to 4.
Yeah.
I hope more.
And then
Don't say that.
I love the snow.
I think maybe 2 to 4-ish tomorrow, and then it's supposed to rain again and then freeze up overnight. So like they were saying Sunday morning, the roads could be bad. So I don't know. We'll see. Every time they say that, though, you wake up and
yeah, you don't know.
And sunny.
Yeah, they told us that last weekend it was supposed to do some stuff, and it really didn't do like it was supposed to. So it was like, really? You're saying it, but I don't see it happening. And then Sunday, they didn't say anything. We did get a little bit of snow, and it was like, oh, now you're not saying nothing. So
what are you drinking?
You guys really get stuck. So I am actually drinking Lagunitas and their Sumpin Easy Ale. So I picked this one up. I needed some beers for tonight because everything I got in the cellar I need to do for reviews, which I don't even know when I'm going to get those all done. I got like 130 in there right now. So
I haven't seen that one.
You haven't seen this one? Really? The 19-2-ounce can? That's the one they came out with. It kind of, I guess you could say, goes against the Founders All Day IPA as far as something that's an easy drink. And this one isn't an IPA, although it has some hoppiness to it. But it's an easy drinking ale. So
what's the ABV on that one?
Good question.
It's like a session.
Yeah, it's like kind of, I think like around 5 or something. Let me see here. There's something easy. And this is like a weird way they do it. 5.7. Session for me. They use like this thin writing on it and the silver writing on the can, and like in a glare, it's like hard to even pick up.
Yeah.
So
it come in 4-packs, or you just buy them?
No, you buy them individual, 19.2 ounce cans, just like the Founders All Day.
What was the Rod J deal on that?
Oh, no Rod J deal. It's like $1.79 deal for everybody. Everybody gets it for $1.79. And then, hey, Tanya, what's going on? So I was coming to watch something and saw you were live. Every Thursday we do the Beer Flow live, Tanya, and hopefully you're drinking something good. If you're around, if you want to join, because we haven't had Tanya on in a while, let me get another woman on the panel as well. Let me know, and I'll shoot you a link if you want to join. If you want to jump in here, she's actually in San Fran, so for her, she's just getting home. So I don't know if she's cooking or doing anything. But if she's freed up, she's always welcome. We haven't had her on for a long time, actually. So
yeah, it's only 6:30 out there. So
yeah. So
she might be in prime beer drinking mood right now.
I actually got a little bit of whiskey here. Not sure if I'm going to drink any whiskey, but we'll see what happens. But right now, just kind of enjoying the beer as we start out. Let me slide it. I'm messing with my OBS on here, trying to get that all set the right way. It wasn't doing it first the right way I wanted it, so I had to switch it up. So now I did get what I needed, and I got everything kind of resized away from what I wanted. So give me 1 second here. Squeeze some stuff down and build.
Yeah, you got all kinds of things going on around there now.
Yeah, it's a nice little thing to have. It's interesting. I'm still getting the kinks worked out on it, but why not have a little fun with it is what I say. So there we go. So that looks pretty decent. And then as far as like any key topic, really didn't have one for tonight as much because we were kind of limited. Eric, like I said, may join us at some point. So some of the different beer things, what I thought I might actually throw some beer trivia stuff out there tonight, actually. So I have that there. But I was looking at some of the beer news. Hey, Duke, the Alien Wizard, welcome. He says, all I got is Rolling Rock tonight, but hey, I'm enjoying while watching the live stream. Cheers to you all. Yeah, hey, nothing wrong with Rolling Rock. I actually had some college years drinking Rolling Rock. So there was an article that ran that said, is beer loyalty dead? So I think we touched on that a little bit last week, but there were some pieces out there talking about the flagship brands. And if you're looking on the website, the takeout, or if you Google, is beer loyalty dead, then that'll come up there as well. But basically, it's making mention of a lot of the flagship type beers and people not actually still going after them because everybody's kind of getting all the new stuff. Like, say, with us, we like the 450 North, it's always a revolving type thing, or Other Half, or some of these other breweries. And it's kind of like people aren't, I don't think, walking away from the flagship, but you have so many other beers out there you want to try as much as you can because we have so many beers that are coming out right now. And then one of the comments on Urkel was actually pretty funny, but to the point is, like, a person said, I don't know any beer brewery, anything, you make good beer, I'm going to try it, but it doesn't mean I have to sit there and drink it all the time either. So I don't know, it's kind of interesting. Like, is there a beer that you always have or you're accustomed to, or are you kind of switching it up all the time?
I usually, I kind of fault to that too.
Yeah, you don't,
go into something different just because you always see something new and you're like, oh, I just want to try it. I'm picking up cans of this or that.
Right.
Although I did pick up a 6-pack of Zombie Dust the other day. So, I mean, that's a whole go-to that I've had, 100 times or whatever the case may be. From time to time, I'll pick up something, I was like, I haven't had that for a while, I want to get it, something.
Have you drank any of them?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, about almost gone. Just kind of mainstays, I guess, but for the most part, yeah, it's probably just, getting some different things all the time.
Yeah, that's going to be my problem because usually I'll find one thing and I like that and that's all I want to drink or eat or whatever. I find things I like and I just stick with those. And that's like at Dawn and Day, I found that Whittle Moon And I just wanted to drink that. Like we went back last night. I guess I've had that. That's like a third trip back to Donham Day. And this is the third trip was like, oh, well, maybe I should try something different. So, and then we got the Growler, and Todd was like, well, I guess we'll get the Whittle Moon. I'm like, no, let's get the Amorous. So I'm trying not to fall into that trap. I'm trying to, maybe after I learn what I want to learn, then maybe I'll stick with one. But for now, I want to try.
This one's a light IPA, which is probably really good for her. It's not real hoppy like a normal, I guess, IPA. Probably a little more maltier, I guess.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's a good transitional one for her.
It's a light IPA?
Yeah, it's a lighter one. I mean, it's not real hoppy, so it's a good transition into that style per se, but not the full effect of punch in the mouth dankness or whatever like you get on a lot of them.
Right. And see, with me, like Todd's like I rarely. There's some that I'll go back to them. I kind of will enjoy. I don't give up on, especially like a lot of the Belgian ales. But with me, like on beer reviews, like I see people do revisits on their beer reviews on the channel, and it's just like, why would you want to revisit with so many other ones out there? Now, granted, there's an asterisk there that if you're doing like a revisit to, Bourbon County Stout or something like that, where they change it slightly each year, that's a little different. But if you've already done a all day IPA, why come back to it and do it again? It's kind of like, but as far as enjoying beers, it's like, I'll still pick up, like, I've had this Lagunitas before, so I'll pick this up again and I'll get other stuff that I've had before, but I don't think I go out there with a certain loyalty to drink a certain beer. It's not like Budweiser with Budweiser lovers who always just drink Budweiser. I don't think you really have that as much with the craft brewing type people.
Like this weekend, I plan on, if it's still around, Hop Slam just coming into our area this week. So I'll probably pick up some Hop Slam, which isn't, a yearly beer, but some of those yearly ones you tend to kind of, at least for me, go back to just because you only get it that one time a year. So you kind of look forward to seeing them, but as far as like mainstays, I don't really have any, I guess. I mean, most of the time when I revisit ones, it's at a restaurant or something, just because that's maybe the best that they have,
Right. It's like if I see Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, I'll enjoy it from time to time, but it's not going to be something I'm going to buy that much on the course of the year because I'm getting so many of the other beers I want to try.
Right. But, like, Dragon Bell's Two Hearted Ale. That's a prime example. Like most of our local establishment, restaurant type places will have it. If they got an okay selection, they'll have that one. That's usually always a go-to for me if, we're out somewhere and it's either that or a Bud Light or Miller Lite or something,
Yeah.
So you'll have those. So I don't necessarily go out to the liquor store just to pick up Two Hearted Ale because I've had it so many times. So it's like,
right.
Let me try, instead of spending my $8 on that or whatever the price is for a 6-pack, buy something else.
You're probably going to hear this from me a lot, and if it gets annoying, then tell me to shut up. Well, Rod, you tell me to shut up because I can't read you. No, but I've been watching videos, and I was watching this video, and they were talking about how a lot of times you'll taste a beer and you'll be like, ugh, that's awful. And then you'll revisit it after you've had, some different beers, and you'll go back and you'll try it again and you'll like it. Mm-hmm. Have you all had beers like that you can think of that you didn't like the first time you tasted it and then now you love it?
Yeah, I mean, there's been some. I'm thinking offhand. There was one I had. I can't remember which one it was now. One of the beer fests, and I forgot I'd actually had it. And when I had the beer fest, I think on Untapped, I gave it like a 3 rating or whatever. But then I had picked it up later when I did a review on it in a bottle to try it out. And I think it was like one of the stouts or whatever like that and everything. But I ended up liking it a lot better. It was like I think I rated that one like a 3.75 or a 4 when I had it the second time. And it was a difference as well because at the same point when I had it on the review, I was drinking it the way it probably should be drank, or definitely should be, where it was like a little bit warmer. It wasn't like at a beer fest where it came out too cold and I didn't let it sit or whatever. And once I had it like at more of the right temperature, having it around closer to 50 degrees, the flavors came out a lot better. It was definitely more of a feel. And it's almost like drinking it in a way it's intended, you can see definitely a difference there. And now, like when I go to Beer Fest, I'm always wondering about that. Like I can never review a beer at a beer fest just because I don't think it will be I don't have the time because you're racing.
Right. Yeah. You got to get on to the next one.
You can't wait them all out. Right. So, but I think it doesn't really give it a fair shot or anything like that. But yeah, I've had some beers that have, I've had it before that were not great. And like, I think it might've been Joe before who said he had barley wine the first time, didn't really like it. And then came back later on in life and actually enjoyed them now. So it's, because your palate changes.
Yeah.
Can't think of any like specifics offhand.
Probably not, because you all try so many.
Yeah, but I can remember when I first really started getting into craft beer and went to they have a beer festival in the summer.
Brew at the Zoo.
Over at Brew at the Zoo in Louisville. It's at a zoo, and it's a fundraiser type deal, but it's one of the bigger ones in the area. And it was really before I really started getting into IPAs and everything. It was kind of one of those like you drank and didn't like it. Well, the only beer I ever poured out at any of those from this day was an IPA from New Albanian. Optimus is what it's called. But now, since then, that I've, talking 7-8 years ago, I guess, probably at this point now. But since then, and I haven't had it for a little while, but it's one of my favorite IPAs locally anyway to get. So in that regards, from the beginning to now, that would be the one that I would say where I,
so
went from a drain pour to where I like it.
So you really like it? Like, would you buy it if you could buy it?
You can buy it. You can.
Would you buy it?
Yeah, I would buy it. Yeah. I mean, I don't. I've had it so many times.
Yeah.
That's one I probably should go back and revisit just because I haven't had it for a while.
Nice. Let me see. Eric Gilbert said he's having Santa Claus and wings. I'm not sure what Santa Claus is, but Eric, tell us, what is that? Holscher Fishing says hello and welcome Holscher as well. Now, going back to the loyalty thing, Duke the Alien Wizard says, I think a lot of people don't really drink a lot of different brands of beer. They just drink the same old thing for most of their life, which I agree. A lot of people, like you said, Shannon, usually drink the same stuff over and over again. And now you're learning how you can experiment in craft beer and find all these other different things. So, yeah, I mean, even like when people order food at restaurants, I go to restaurants with people and they get to say, I get this every time I come here. I'm like,
that's what I do.
Never try anything else on the menu. No, because I really like this one. Well, if you really like that one, chances are you probably have other stuff you really like too. But
why do you want to take a chance and you don't like, you don't go out to eat that often?
That's the fun of experimenting.
But if you don't like it, if you don't like it though, then
you toss it up to experience. You say, I won't do that again.
Yeah, if we went out to eat all the time, then maybe I'd do that. But we don't go out to eat a lot. So when we do go out, I want to guarantee that I'm going to enjoy my meal.
If you'd have never moved off of Milwaukee's Best, you would always be on Milwaukee's Best.
That's true. Right? That's a good point.
As long as I'm happy in Milwaukee's Best, then what difference does it make? I'm happy.
Yeah. There's stuff you find out you never did before, and then it's like, oh man, I should have tried this a long time. Like years ago, I think it was probably around 2007. I had never had pumpkin pie before that time. Just never really thought about it. And at work, we had it one day, so I had to go in and try it, a pumpkin pie. And I was like, this is really pretty good. So everybody's like, oh, you need to go to Frisch's because Frisch's has to. And so for like a month and a half, I went on this pumpkin pie tear, eating pumpkin pie anywhere I can get and it's like stuff like that you just miss out when you just stay in your thing where you don't try anything. So I like to experiment with different stuff. And if you like, for instance, I like to cook a lot of stuff, so I put different stuff together. So, it's just fun to me, So why would you want to do that and stay in your one little rut, I guess?
Yeah.
Stay in your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And that's kind of weird between us because he's usually the one that's like between the two of us, I'm the more like adventurous one, I guess, or irresponsible, I should say. I'm the take risks more but he's, when it comes to stuff like that, but you do kind of the same thing. You always make fun of me, but you kind of, maybe you have 3 things that you usually get, and I usually have 1 or 2. Chicken fingers or fish. Like a 7-year-old.
Kind of like, you want this TV dinner or you want this nice ribeye steak at the grill? Okay, you can have your nuggets and fries and the TV dinner.
Sadly, I know other people that way too. Ashley Sexton Brewing. Welcome, Ashley. It's got a barrel aged Imperial Stout from Forked River that is now a sour barrel aged Imperial Stout LL. So he's actually up in Canada, and that sounds interesting. And like Eric Gilbert said, tasty. So tell us a little bit more about that one, Ashley. Rain on Your Parade. Samuel Adams New England IPA is my most consumed beer of 2018. That's actually funny because when they came out with the Sam Adams New England IPA, of course I wanted to try because I could try that one and I tried the Sierra Nevada and then tried the New Belgium with kind of the three bigger type craft type breweries or whatever. And that one was pretty decent. And then it was like they came out and they had like the 4-pack for like $8.99, and which is a pretty good price on it. But then they put it in a 4-pack for $10.99. Well, then it's like, if you're going to go to $10.99, why would I go this? And I wouldn't go Mantry, or I wouldn't go Braxton, or I wouldn't go these other. Like you're good, but you're not that good. Yeah, and now they brought it back down to $8.99 again. It's like, okay, now people might buy it a little bit more. So I thought the price point was a little bit more for what you actually got, but it's a decent tasting beer. Have you finally had that one, Todd?
Which one was it?
Sam Adams one, the New England IPA.
I have, yeah.
Yeah. So
that's the one in like the gold looking cans, right? So
yeah, the orange cans.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good, but I agree with you though. Getting up to $10, that's maybe not, but for $7.99, $8.99, it's a pretty good deal, really.
Yeah, it's kind of like and
it's solid. I mean, it's pretty solid.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty solid. And I did consume a good amount of those last year too.
But you speak of that, it's like price does start coming into play on that stuff because you're like, it's only what's the difference? $2, but when you're looking at different beer styles or beer 6 as opposed to 4 or whatever, 12 ounces to 16 ounces, and it's a couple dollars, but you can get a little more for maybe less. You know what I mean? It's like that does kind of start coming into play, especially for some people.
Yeah. And here, because of the breweries, and you have the same thing down there, Mile Wise, some of the other ones, they're doing a 4-pack pint can. So it's like, whatever I pay a 4-pack pint, $10.99 for this or $10.99 for that, I'm probably going to go with that because, the craft brewery and stuff. But, Sam Adams is still technically a craft brewery, but at the same point, they're at that top level of the craft brewery.
Yeah.
And then Ashley, instead of the one beer, that it was more of an accidental success because I think he let it stay too long before he actually drank it. He said he always goes back to his Old Faithful Steam Whistle Pilsner when there's nothing new and exciting at the LCBO to buy. And LCBO, because Shannon's probably never heard the LCBO, it's not a wrestling team. We always think it's a wrestling team. It's not a wrestling team. In Canada, they buy through the LCBO because that's like their country, how they buy alcohol and stuff.
So what is it now?
They're in Canada. So LCBO is basically like the government branch that I guess sells alcohol, to put it in simple terms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But here, I just always think like WWE or something.
Like a wrestling.
Hey, you said Pilsner, and I've been doing my research the last couple days, and they said that Pilsner, and I can't remember if I think it's Czechoslovakia. Is it Czechoslovakia or Yugoslavia?
I
think it was Czech.
Czechoslovakia.
Yeah.
Maybe Yugoslavia.
Because they were talking, I thought it was a Kolsch, but they said Kolsch is German, right?
Yeah.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah. Hey, I'm telling you. I get obsessed with something.
Spitting game knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have one of your Pilsner is your Czech Pilsner. And yes, Kolsch is Germany. So that's where the style of Kolsch came out of that area. Good job.
Give it about 2 weeks, Rod. She'll be teaching us some shit. And then about a month later, she'll be like, nah, I'm drinking Bud Lights.
Yeah, I'm moving
on. Eric Gilbert said Wellington's Russian Imperial Stout is the standby for him. I don't think I've ever saw the Russian Imperial Stout from Wellington. But Ashley says that is a solid one. And Sam Nichols is an Australian Bach and at a sessionable 14% ABV.
Whoa.
So
nice
Bach, is that a type of beer?
Yes.
So what's that? What is that like? Is it hoppy? Is it like coffee?
It's malty. It's Bach is a lager.
Okay.
So lager is two types of beers, lagers and ales. That style is under the lager, and usually they're higher ABV type beers. They're malty. They have a nice, sometimes like a caramel or toffee type feel to them, roastiness to them sometimes. Double box as well. In fact, we're about to have Bach Fest in March, which is crazy. And Bach is actually the word for the male goat. And the Bach Fest or Bach name comes from the celebration of the fertility or something. It's like a whole thing that goes back.
Fertility of the goat?
Yeah, but if you go to well, because goat was a sign of fertility. So if you go to a lot of Bach festivals, you'll see goats there, like male goats. So that's what they'll mean. Yeah. So in Cincinnati, they have a parade at the one here, and they'll be walking down the street, goats and stuff too. So people always wonder, what are the goats for? That's what Bach means.
Wow.
So I guess really like, have you ever tried a name brew?
I have no idea. All I know is what I tried last night. Yeah, because last night was the only time I paid attention to actually.
Yeah.
Because we got a flight, and I was like, I want to try. They only had like 10 beers. I'm like, I want to try as many styles of beer as I can in that flight. So, which they didn't have a whole lot of different styles, but they had
enough. I mean, they got 10 beers on draft.
Well, I think I tried 4 different styles.
Yeah, I had IPA, the Stout, Porter,
Belgian.
And
they had a Saison, which I'd never heard of. We didn't try that one. I should have tried that one.
And then the one that you thought was
a wheat ale?
No.
The Unicorn?
Yeah.
That one was the Scotch.
The Scotch ale.
Yeah,
Scotch ale. Okay.
Yeah, which I didn't think I'd like because I hate Scotch. And he's like, no, it doesn't.
I was like, no, it really had nothing to do with
I thought maybe it was aged in like Scotch, the Scotch in barrels.
Some people
do Scotch, yeah.
I thought maybe it was
aged any beer in just about any kind of barrel.
Well, I didn't know. What did they put in barrels, though? Whiskey, bourbon.
Gin.
Gin.
Wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess Scotch. I'm assuming. I don't really know a lot about Scotch, but I guess they put it in a barrel. I don't know.
Yeah, it's in a barrel. Funny thing with Scotch is, like, when they make Scotch whiskey, they actually, they do it over in Scotland, but they actually use barrels that were bourbon barrels to age it in. Like, they get a ton of their barrels are all, like, out of here in Kentucky, a lot of stuff.
And it has to do something with, like, peat. Peat, something with Scotch, right?
Yeah. They did a story on it, like, on 60 Minutes a while back, and I was surprised when I saw it. They were like, oh, yeah, we have to get bourbon barrels. So I'm like, what? So I do like Scotch whiskey here and there. That's probably why, because I like bourbon barrel. I like bourbon here. I know. Yeah. Although I don't drink a lot of bourbon, considering how much that we have here. So, but it is fun to actually experiment with.
Yeah, same here. I don't drink a lot either, but
well,
I'll try. I like it every now and again.
At the Donham Day Brewery where we went to, like the first night we went, I made this friend, and she's, I don't know, in her 60s or something, and she's the one that got me on the Whittle Moon, the Belgian beer that I like so much. And so each time we go, she's there. And last night, we were all talking about craft beers, and then she got on talking about bourbon, and she's like, "Oh, if you try it, you'll learn to like it." I'm like, I don't think I would, and I don't really care to.
Yeah.
Like, when you tried bourbon the first time, did you like it?
I mean, first time I tried it, I was kind of like in high school, so I wasn't really in for the taste.
Right.
Buzz, but, I mean,
let's get to the point faster.
What about you?
That's first time. No, I mean, there's still times now when I'll drink it. Like, I can tolerate it, but sometimes I get in the mood for it and I like it. I don't know. That makes sense, really. Yes, I don't know.
I mean,
what got me into it was more of the barrel stouts, bourbon barrel stouts. That kind of got me into some of the bourbons. I don't know why. I got a bunch. I got quite a few bottles in our bar, and I just don't.
Well, one of his really good friends loves bourbon, so he tries to keep bourbon here for him.
Well, when I started bartending, I got into a little bit more. But the first time I tried Scotch, I didn't like it that much. But I do like Scotch some now. I actually like gin too. I've done some gin ones I really like. So
yeah, I've tried Scotch a couple times and I don't care much for it. Maybe it's because I didn't have a really good, high quality Scotch, which I guess makes a big difference.
Now, gin, is that what they put in martinis?
Yeah. Well, they do gin or they do vodka, but you want gin.
Well, I had a vodka martini and it was awful too, and I like vodka.
Yeah.
It just tasted like straight up vodka.
Let me see here. And back on Ashley's beers, that's slightly sour now and the body thinned out, but it still has a rich profile and some nice vanilla and dark chocolate notes. So, one of the things we, experiment with when we get beers, and especially if you have like a beer cellar built out, is how the beer may change over a period of time too. So sometimes, like Ashley, you come across things that actually works out nicely and you benefit from it. He said beer and spirits are not sold through private shops. The government runs stores where we buy our liquor. That was going back to the LCBO because Ashley's also with Eric Gilbert in Canada. And then Stephen thought Eric was funny when he said sessionable at 14%. So the brown and strong lager, and talking about the Bach class. And Eric said this stuff is deadly, spicy toffee, because I mentioned the toffee notes, dark fruits, and a whole lot light and body for the ABV. And that's the thing that you can run into with some of the Bach style that I found over the years is they're kind of really a sneaky type style. And, you'll drink them and think like, oh, you forget how much ABV is in it until you'll get up or you want to do something. And it's like, whoa, they all hit you at one point, So that's probably a reason why the monks really make that style as well, because they're in robes and they're just comfortable. It's not really going anywhere. So,
and that's a style that really nobody talks about that much. Really, nobody box. Nobody's like, "What's your favorite beer?" I don't think I've known anybody ever says, "Oh, a Bach."
Yeah, I've never.
Or you're just going out to see. You just don't really see them even out in the wild too much, really.
Yeah, and with Bach's, just like lagers use a more of a colder fermenting process, but with Bach's, you usually ferment through the fall and winter to get it to the beginning of spring almost by the time you start really getting around. Now, you have some that are out there now, but depending on what they may have done and what their ABV may be, they may be out earlier because they're lighter type Bach's, but a lot of your heavier Bach's will come out here around February or March a lot of times. So, and he also says Scotch has to be matured in oak casks or barrels, or preferably a refill oak. Yeah. So, like I said, with the oak that they were showing on, I forgot what company it was, but they were the biggest Scotch maker on 60 Minutes. They were actually shipping in the bourbon oak cask to actually mature the whiskey in. So that was pretty cool. And then one sip at a time says happy Thursday, Rajay. Hello there and welcome. Always appreciate to have you in here, Trish. So she dropped in to say hi, and she actually, if you like wine, Shannon.
Yeah.
So if you actually like subscribe to One Sip at a Time, she does what she does. Well, now she's not drinking anything because she's actually pregnant, but she was doing wine type stuff and everything too.
Oh, that sucks. I remember when I was pregnant and I couldn't drink.
Yeah. And Todd was supportive, right? And Todd didn't drink anything with you.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I didn't drink double.
God.
Sometimes triple, depending on what night it was.
No, I wouldn't have made him do that. I was miserable. He didn't need to be miserable too. One sip at a time.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and subscribe right now.
And then Scott's in from French Hall Beer Reviews. Welcome, my friend. Welcome, Scott. And check out, he does a lot of the beer stuff. And Scott is actually in our beer coalition group as well. And then we also have his YouTube stuff on Facebook. But he does a lot of good beer stuff as well. Yeah, Trish said life is rough right now. She said, Shannon, you get her. So
I do get you. I get you.
One little sip here and there you want her.
Yeah. Till somebody finds out and shames you to death.
Yeah. But everybody is kind of in the chat there. Anybody want to check out their channels? Like Steve's there with Eclipse Brewing. He does the home brewing stuff. Tanya Mikowski. She does beer reviews and stuff too. So you can click the dots next to their names and you can go to their channel. You can also subscribe to them as well. And then, we have Duke, we have Fishing, Holster Fishing in here. excuse me, getting choked up there. Any of these guys, you know, you can check out their channels and stuff too. So I think because I had to actually go to the office the last couple of weeks, people were getting me sick. I get around people, and it's just like,
yeah, it's that time of year.
Coughing and choking. The next thing you know, 2 days later, I'm at home and I'm doing it. I was like, seriously, people? Cheers, Beardy Be Reviews. Welcome, my buddy. He's over in the UK. He says, sup, Rod? How goes it? Doing all right. Drinking a few beers. You can check out his channel, too, where he does some beer reviews. So lots of good people shared a lot of good beer stuff. Let's see here. More and more articles are coming out now about the government shutdown, preventing local breweries from actually opening up new beer. There's been kind of some debates in some of the different groups about it. It's kind of a weird type situation thing. I mean, some people are kind of like, well, they should have been more prepared. It's like, you really, I don't know, been more prepared. You're used to doing the process a certain way, and then things change. And so it's going to be interesting to see, because if this goes on longer, it'll be interesting to find out how long it will take for some of these beers to come out, because people have set their beer calendars and now they're waiting to get their labels and stuff done. And
it kind of put a damper on a lot of things, for sure.
Well, yeah, and like some people said, well, if they have the thing there and they're doing kegs, you can go there with growlers or whatever. But even then, like I've talked to a couple people that run that stuff, your kegs have to be labeled as well.
Yeah.
You know, so people say, well, why does the government got to do everything? Well, at the same point, the reason government does everything is the reason why after Prohibition, the government did everything. Because if not, people be throwing all kinds of stuff into your drink. So it's all got to be monitored, so to speak.
Yeah.
But
there'll be regulations to everything.
Yeah.
To make sure it's safe, even though everything we eat has cancer causing ingredients in it. So
I mean, it'd be nice if a private company could step in, but then again, do you really trust a private company? I don't know if you trust the government as much either, but a private company,
exactly.
Well, it becomes about the bottom line, so things may slide through. There was a thing I posted on the Facebook page that people didn't know, and you happen to pick up the Tank 7 from Boulevard Brewing. They actually found some glass in some of their bottles, so they actually did a recall on that beer. So just in case, I mean, we get Boulevard through where we're at now. I know, Todd, you get it down there as well, but just if you have any Tank 7 that came out recently, you might want to check to see if it's been recalled.
I saw that.
Yeah. So
that's a pretty good beer. I like Boulevard stuff in general.
Oh yeah, I do too.
Solid.
And much of, good thing for them to actually make that announcement so people can be aware of it too, and look to kind of do that recall. Beardy Be Reviews. So let me slide down on the way. Oh yeah. No, French Halls asked me, how do you guys feel about the government shutdown impact on craft beer? For me, I guess I can say the full impact of it yet. Like, we still have a lot of stuff happening. Tomorrow, Braxton Brewing is releasing a Chilean Mexican something Imperial Stout. I don't know. It just looks delicious. That's all I'm going to say. So,
you're off tomorrow, Rod. So
I am off tomorrow. So might stop by there, and we have a few other breweries that are having some things. We're still getting some stuff that are coming out. I know, Todd, you said 450 North still has stuff coming out.
Yeah, they got a 6-can release tomorrow. So
yeah. So depending how far, maybe you were in advance, like some of the companies that we haven't seen as much. But if you're like a new brewery, which one of the articles I shared to the group was about a smaller brewer who basically they were being held up on getting their beers out because they weren't in a situation to have beers to fall back on like that. So I think it sucks personally. I think it's, I can understand why it's happening because, again, it's about monitoring what people may be consuming. But it's more of a hassle for a lot of those guys trying to get stuff done on the operations side right now. We'll see it later on after.
So is the holdup the FDA? Is that what the holdup is?
Yeah. Well, there's nobody there to do the labels.
Okay.
Yeah. So
because it's a government aid.
When beer gets done by the brewer, they have to get the labels and all their stuff for the manufacturing side bid offer to the public. And you have to do that in advance. Now, usually from stuff I've seen, that could take like up to 3 weeks traditionally anyway with all the stuff you have to go through. But things are getting backlogged right now.
Yeah.
So depending where you're at there, like say if you wanted to launch a new brewery next month, you haven't got your literally get anything rolling until they get that all established. You know, if you're a bigger type brewery, like, and I'll use up here, like say a Rheingeist or a Mad Tree, you're probably still okay right now. But even Braxton had mentioned some stuff last week, the how it's affecting them or about to affect them. So different breweries are in different positions. The smaller the brewery, the smaller, I think the more you're feeling the pinch if you're a smaller brewery.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it was either Mad Tree or Braxton that had a couple beer releases that they're doing in the summertime. They're starting to sweat it a little bit because of the shutdown.
Yeah.
Well, they're afraid that they won't get all their stuff passed, like you were saying, labels and whatnot, to where it might delay their release or.
So could their beer go bad before they could get what they need to get done to sell it?
I mean, it's perishable, but it's not most likely not, because these will last there for a while with the way they keg and everything like that. That it shouldn't be an issue along those lines. There's nothing where it's going to necessarily die out. The one style that's impacted the most, though, would be the IPA style.
Yeah.
Because the way people drink those now, they do want to get them fresh. And if you're like a local brewery, people are trying to get them within, weeks of when they come out. So now if you can't get them out by the time you release them, if they release it a month later, a month and a half later, it's actually still fine, but it's not as fresh as what a lot of people like to enjoy them now. And I think most people, if you did a blind test, they wouldn't be to tell the difference as much as they think they can tell the difference. But that's just me.
Yeah, I think a lot of that gets put in somebody's head for, it's 4 weeks late. I'm going to drain pour it. I'm not even going to drink it because it's no good. Like, come on.
Try it. I like it.
Right, yeah, I mean, it's not going to go bad. It may not be exactly what it was intended for, but it's still going to be good.
That's kind of like that coconut that I taste. The coconut, the batch that we tasted, the sample, tasted kind of flat.
Yeah.
But I liked it. Was that the way it was supposed to taste, or?
No, it probably is still. It's probably
not ready to go out.
Yeah, it's still probably not completely ready yet.
I liked it. I bought a glass of it. Yeah.
Of what it's going to be.
Yeah, it was really good.
So you might go back in a month and they may still have it as a sample or whatever. And it may be way better than, like, the coconut might be more pronounced or,
Well, that's what I was telling Todd. I'm like, I try these things and I want to, you guys can't get it. So I'm like, I want to try this stuff. I want to send it to you guys so we can talk about the same beer,
Yeah.
But like with like this Amorous we're having now, I was like, could we send them what's this called?
A growler.
A growler of this, and would it still be good? And he's like, no, probably not. Yeah. They'd have to drink it really fast.
No, you'd have to airtight that type of thing. So with people do have those growlers now where they're airtight and you can get them, you can hold them for like a week or so. But usually a growler, I've got growlers. I rarely ever use them anymore just because, you get it, you want to drink it in a certain amount of time, and like 64 ounces. And some of the craft beers you're drinking, I mean, you're pretty much, you do a growler, you're like probably over 1,000 to 2,000 calories,
Thanks, Rod. As we're about to finish this one.
You had to bring that up, didn't
you?
But
see, you got someone there with, well, it's an IPA. It's not just like it was a big pasty stout or anything like that, but, IPAs will have the calories on them a little bit. It's funny now because we went to dinner tonight and had Chinese. I ended up having, so get this. So Cigar City finally came to Kentucky, as we know, and Todd, And so finally, I went to some place and they had it on tap. So all this time I've been hearing about High Lie, High Lie. So I said, they got a High Lie on tap. Let me get a High Lie. I'm going to tell you, I was underwhelmed. With the High Lie. It had nothing really there to make me feel as great about it, like while I was getting all this hype. It was a good IPA. It was a standard IPA. But it didn't really stick out too much. It was cool, even like a little bit of an older school type IPA now. So
yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of one of those beers that you heard about for so long, like for several years, and probably back when the hype kind of first hit, it probably was really good at that time. Kind of like you mentioned, and you and I both still like it a lot, like Zombie Dust. People will go, whatever, it's Zombie Dust. People used to stand in line for hours to try to get Zombie Dust, or you see it on the shelf, you're like, oh my God, I got Zombie Dust, got to get it. Now it's just kind of like, whatever.
But Zombie Dust is still pretty good.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's still really good. But I guess what I'm getting at is like somebody that's never had it and heard all the hype, maybe they might get it and they'll go, yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's good. It's a good beer, but not what they might have been expecting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I agree with you though. The first time I had High Lie, I was like, it's good, but I'm like, I don't understand what everything was, all about,
Now it could be like where we're at because we have so many breweries around us. It just doesn't stand out. So if you were like someone like, say you were Gene, like down where he's at in Alabama and he's limited, it might stand out a little bit more in a type of area like that. But
that's a good point too.
We get so many other ones. It's kind of like, it's all right. I mean, it's good, but it's not like I would go crazy over it. I mean, I'll see what the fuss is about. And they have some other beers I want to try from Cigar City, but I thought as far as a decent IPA, it was decent, but there was other ones that had a lot better. So
yeah, that's a good point. I mean, there's so much stuff out there that you can get locally now that like just because it doesn't hit the magazine or somebody's like standing in line for 4 hours to get it doesn't mean it's not a really good beer.
Yeah, and granted, we do drink more beers than the average person though too over time, so that probably plays into it as well. Well, I don't know if we drink more than the average. We drink more of a selection than the average person probably does.
When you say we, are you like talking about us or
us, us, and some of the viewers and the commenters, those in the craft beer type world, or whatever. I mean, there's guys that'll dust off a 12-pack of Budweiser, right? So they'll drink more beers versus us having, one or two here or that. I mean, they'll do a 12-pack like in 2 nights, and we're at like maybe 1 or 2 a night, so we're not even drinking as much as what they may have. But we'll have a wider selection of beers than they actually do because they're just drinking the same thing over and over again. So,
well, that's what Todd told me. He's like, now when you drink these, you can't be slamming them down. He's like, they have, the alcohol content's a lot more. And so I was like, I don't think I could slam these down if I wanted to. It's like, it's not a slamming these aren't slamming beers, It's like, it's so rich. It's like, I couldn't slam this down if I wanted to.
Now there's some because my wife, she's like you said, she's just started getting into it some, but she likes the wit beer style. So she'll drink those and she'll like, what are you drinking? And like, enjoy it or whatever like that, everything. And, she's still getting into it, but she likes it and she'll drink it down and she'll get another one or whatever. But,
that's what she used to do.
Yeah.
She'd be having her Bud Light and drink 2 or 3 and you're like, you're still on your first one? I'm like, yeah. And now she's starting to get into them. She's like, she kind of gets it a little bit. Now. Like, I see why, sometimes you're taking a little bit longer. Now, her brother, he'll pound them like they're Bud Light still. He'll drink the German style more so than anything. But
yeah. Well, me and my brother come from a long line of alcoholics, so yeah. So we don't know how to drink slowly.
At like 14%, those are beers she likes slam. Those definitely sit back and relax with. And then Beardy Be review. I think I missed a couple of comments here. So Beardy Be review. First go back to Trish. Trish has said thanks. On her channel, but she said loves the new look and who's on the panel. So I think Trish, you've probably seen Todd before, but this is Todd's wife Shannon, who's actually here tonight. So she's kind of becoming a new Beer Flow member, it seems. So
I kind of pushed my way in.
She used to be behind the camera and just heckling Todd, but we got her to come in front of the camera.
So. And you regret it ever since, right?
Yeah. And then Beardy has said he's jealous he can't have a beer for a month now, and that really sucks. And now Beardy's not pregnant, so I guess he just can't have a beer for a month right now. But just think about this: you're building up for later. You're going to really enjoy it when you do have it.
Well, why can't he have a beer for a month?
I don't know, Beardy. Why can't you have a beer for a month?
Yeah, don't just leave us hanging.
Unless
we're doing the no beer out or January or whatever people are doing.
He's in the UK, so they might be doing a dry January.
Dry January, that's what they're doing.
Yeah. They tried that in America. America was like, what?
You're what? What are you doing? On purpose? Really?
Ashley said he saw that McAllen, New York City, is offering a free beer and a meal to any government worker who's impacted by the shutdown. So that's a pretty cool thing. And actually, there's different restaurants doing it around the country. Free meals. There was a thing this morning on the news. They had people getting free coffee and a breakfast at one of the coffee shop places. I mean, it was lined up, too, where they were doing it because they're right in D.C. where a lot of workers are out of work.
So
it's nice. There was another place that every Wednesday they were doing something as well, I believe, but it's good to see people definitely chipping in and helping out there.
Yeah, they were doing they're doing some of that here locally too.
Yeah,
as well.
I posted that on Facebook, like a list of things, a list of the places in Louisville that were helping the people that were.
The 612 or what was that one? I believe what is that guy was on one of the cooking shows on.
I don't know.
He was one of the chefs. He was feeding them, one of the select, like professional chefs. I saw that article too, and he was.
Yeah, he's got a couple of restaurants now downtown, but the one is main one. God, I forget the name of it. Magnolia.
Yeah.
Magnolia or something like that. But he's only open on Fridays and Saturdays. And that's it.
Yeah.
Is it a restaurant?
Yeah, and he only serves so many dishes for each night, and if you're not, you're not on the reserve,
and that's
make
for the
a
paying
reservation,
customers.
and that's it. Yeah. But he's doing something for them too, like for the government workers.
Yeah, he was like a Gordon Ramsay type chef. I mean, he was one of the big ones. Yeah.
He won the one that was on Bravo.
Maybe I did like uncut or chopped or
no. I forget the one that's on
Bravo.
No, it's the one on Bravo.
Jesus.
Something Chef Lee. I forget his first name. Something Lee.
I'm getting all hot.
Well, I know Guy Fieri had done something too. I think too. So,
yeah.
But and actually, it's a pretty solid move by them, which I do agree. And Brandon from Craft Beer Report says cheers. So Brandon, welcome. And Brandon has a lot of good, crazy stuff on his channel as well. If you guys want to subscribe over there. And Brandon is married to One Sip at a Time. So.
Oh wow.
Why
and they both have their own channels.
Yeah, and why she can't drink, he's pulling up the slack and enjoying it.
Yeah.
So. And then Trish said a lot of our local breweries are posting on social media asking to support them by buying someone a craft beer or having conversation over a beer to still support them during this. That's a pretty cool idea too. So they're actually up in the Boston area and everything. So I'm sure they'll be rooting for their Patriots this weekend. But yeah, they're up in the Boston area and they're seeing a lot of good stuff happening. Which I just had a few friends I work with. They went down to New Orleans. Like, you guys know you're going down like NFC Championship weekend. It's going to be a little crazy. It was like 3 of the women were going down. If they've never been to New Orleans, they're going to go down to a party. I'm like, you'll be partying, all right. Especially
if they win.
Yeah. And then Scott has said he read about Dogfish Head coming out with a low 95 cal, 4% IPA. Interested to try this one. Calories and carbs on par with Mick Ultra.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely take a look. They had one from Dogfish Head before that was a low calorie one. It was one of like the Dogfish 60-minute labels, but it was like, I don't know, 40-minute or 30-minute or something. I remember them having something before. But here's something interesting. A lot of people were starting to say they think a trend for this year, I say a lot, a good amount of people, will be that some of these breweries are now working on basically non-alcoholic craft beer options. So for people that, maybe they can't drink or they can't really enjoy the alcohol, they can have a non-alcoholic option from craft brewing. If you're a designated driver or
pregnant,
you're pregnant, or maybe you're on lunch break, you want the taste of a beer but can't really have a beer. I don't know what you guys think about that. Like, would you drink a non-alcoholic craft beer?
If it was well made
in those situations?
No situations, yeah. But I mean, like, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea either if you're out. Maybe you're out somewhere just to mix in a couple. You don't want to get plastered that night or something. Maybe have a regular IPA. You throw that in between.
Yeah.
After a couple, you may not even. You may not know it anyway. So it's like just to kind of mellow you out for the night to make you,
if you're a responsible adult.
Yeah. Well, you think about it, it's kind of like if you had a non-alcoholic craft beer and if you're really into craft beer, you're digging it for the taste, it really wouldn't be that bad of a thing. I mean, because a lot of times some of these craft beers, they taste like, some of the sours almost like you're drinking some type of juice at points. And some of the New England IPAs are so juicy, they're kind of like juice. So it's kind of like if you were just grilling out hot dogs in the summer and you wanted to grab one of them instead of you drinking a Coke or something like that and everything, you're just having one of these, which wouldn't be a bad thing to enjoy either.
I can see a place in it for sure.
I'd be more likely to do if it was like a cider or like a sour or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but that's just me. I'm just getting into this stuff. But yeah, because if I want a beer, I want a beer. But if it's a cider or what I say, a sour.
Sour.
Yeah.
Something mild.
Or something like that, smoothie one that you,
The
I'd drink
price,
that if it wasn't alcoholic.
the pricing would be the curious thing, just because if you're going to have something out there priced as high as a craft beer, you're basically making more of an exotic type drink,
Yeah.
you know, and people, they wouldn't pay that amount for it.
And I was going to say that too, because I always thought, what's the point of a session beer when you can buy a session beer, you know, like a all day IPA for, well, at the time for the same price as you could buy a regular, you know, 6-pack of IPAs. That's twice the alcohol volume in it. It's like, why would you would you do that? But then over time, it's like, okay, I understand the point of the session beer.
What's
like,
a session beer?
So it's anything that's like under, technically, I guess 5%. I don't know. I guess it really depends on who you talk to, but most of the time, 5%.
Yeah, usually when,
I guess, right?
Yeah, when they originally came out with session beers, it was actually done, I guess the UK might have been one of the first places to actually do it. But essentially, when workers would take their lunch break, they wanted a beer level where you could drink a beer, because beer is so popular there, going back to times when they were drinking beer rather than the water, for instance, that they had to be strong and you had to taste the beer, but they couldn't be too strong for when they came back to work. So they were usually around 3.5% to 4%, I believe. And they could go to work and they could have, you know, 1 or 2 at lunch or whatever, come back and it wouldn't impair them at all. But of course, in America, we said that's too low.
Yeah.
We're going to move that up.
We're going to up that up just a little bit. They call it session, so you just have drink a bunch of them in a session of something or whatever.
Yeah, and then you don't get wasted by them is how it ends up coming out. Yeah.
Or strictly craft beers, or so would Bud Light be a session beer?
Yeah.
For some, definitely for some. It's like ice one. Give me the ice one in the red can. And then let me see here. Beardy says, I have no idea what the craft beer scene in the U.S., but this sounds pretty bogus, but it sounds logical. I think that's when we were talking about this stuff with the shutdown and everything. He asked if we had U.S. have key kegs. I'm not familiar with key kegs. I mean, we have pony kegs, which are smaller than the regular kegs. Let me see here. Is it Holster in there? Said hello again. Welcome back, Holster. Scott said he felt the same way with Sunshine, overhyped and underwhelmed, as we were talking about the highlight. And I've not had Sip of Sunshine, but I've heard about that one as well, and kind of supposed to be a great beer to actually try. See, some people have liked that a lot. So, Beardy says, here in England, we have our hype breweries. Dea and Verdant are leading. Eric Gilbert said, overhyped is Collective Arts. And then Scott says, Collective Arts is a hit or miss for me. Ooh, getting some shots here at Collective Arts. What's going on here? And the only Collective Arts I've had are the ones that Joe got to us. Was the basil goza, the cranberry basil goza that he sent me, was kind of like interesting, but it was like, I don't know why you want to put this together, maybe, but then again, it wasn't terrible or anything like that. Never had the IPA number 5, which apparently people love the IPA number 5 or whatever. I think that was them that did that. If not, the guys will let me know. But
I saw Chris off the 10th and did an IPA number 8, I think it was.
Yeah,
just recently.
Supposedly number 5, I think, has been the best one of the series from what they were saying, but it is what it is. Beardy said he was in the hospital from Friday to Sunday treating gout. Ow.
Ooh.
Drinking beer and eating too much meat. Doc's ordered, not mine, that he can't have any beer right now.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, a little trivia fact: gout used to be called the king's disease. Did you know that? Did you know that, Shannon?
No, I didn't.
I never heard that, but it makes sense.
It goes back to King Louis, like it was King Louis the 14th, because of all the stuff that he would eat and drink. And he was the fat king, so he would get gout pretty much. But it became a sign from that time period and coming forward, where people that have, wealth and means to be able to afford like beer or meat or whatever like that, and all the food and stuff they wanted to have,
Yeah, back then it was a status symbol to be fat, because you had a lot of money and you could afford all the good things in life. Back then it was like, oh, that guy's fat. He's got all kinds of money.
Good old days.
He's rich.
Yeah. Back then, a fat guy was set.
Yeah.
He was like, all right.
Oh yeah, which I don't know. Still in today's society, it seems like if you're a fatter guy rather than a fatter woman, you still benefit from it somehow.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so I'll share this little tidbit real quick. I follow this Instagram account, and I took a picture of it because I'm like, this is just the difference between men and women. And it says, there was like a poll, and it said, for women, would you rather go on a date with a guy who posts videos of himself at the gym or has a dad bod? Can you guess the percentage of women that said dad bod?
Probably 80%.
Yeah, 79%.
You seen that poll, huh?
Yeah.
I just know.
79% of
Shoots and
women,
scores.
yes, would rather date a man with a dad bod than a guy that posts gym selfies all day.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There you go. I know a few things.
Yep, man.
Well, we put a lot of hard work in these bodies.
Yeah.
As opposed to a guy going to the gym and putting a lot of hard work into it too.
Yeah.
So it evens out.
Yeah.
We probably have more fun than those guys do.
Oh, absolutely.
And then very painful. He actually went to lob off his leg. So, and I've actually had gout, and gout is not a fun thing. And
oh no,
so it comes back once again. And people that haven't had it wonder it's like essentially it's kind of like turf toe. And when people that never play sports or don't know as much about that, like they think with athletes are out because of turf toe, you can't imagine as much pain. People don't realize how much that big toe matters. And you can't,
yeah.
And then if it hits you in your toe, if it hits you in your foot, I mean, you put a lot of weight and you put emphasis on that little spot. So this, you're a nurse, Shannon. So it's kind of like,
Well, it's little crystals built up in your.
Should get turf toe only because you rammed your foot in the bed, on the corner bed,
and everything else.
and everything else.
Yeah.
My son of a.
In that doctor's ass. Yeah, but no, that's not fun at all. And you ice it, you get arrested, you can't do anything with it. But yeah, if they wanted you to lay off for a month and you went to cut off it, I've never had it that bad, but I can only imagine. One of the guys I work with, he had it where they actually gave him one of those little carts or whatever. He had to put his knee down on it and roll around for a bit of time. So I'm like, man, that is a bad dose of it.
There you go, Rod.
Oh, the strawberry slush. Is that another one, or is that one from the ones you got before?
No, I picked this up from the buddy of mine I know that gets them pretty much all the time, and I just went over there about a week or so ago, and he had some.
Raided his fridge.
Yeah, he's got a fridge full of 450 North stuff. Some of it's a little old, but
yeah.
This one I think is just a couple of releases ago, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Well, Beardy said he got it actually in the knee and not the foot, which
damn.
I've never heard in the knee before. I haven't heard in the knee.
I haven't either.
Yeah, but he says he's got that body already and doesn't even have his daughter isn't even here yet. So,
well, 80% of women find you attractive.
Yeah.
Hey, Rod, I don't know if you see Eric put a message to you, I think.
Oh, did he? Let me take a look. And
Scott
said,
want to make sure if he can join.
Yeah. Scott said, okay, time for bed. Expecting a busy weekend with the weather. Trying to make some money plowing. Thanks for the fun live show, Rod. Cheers all. Yeah, cheers, Scott. Thanks for swinging by and be safe out there. We'll be getting some of that snow as well. So
I learned there's 4 things you're supposed to do.
Okay.
You're supposed to, maybe I can remember them all. You're supposed to look up at the color, which this looks like mud water. And you're supposed to smell it.
I've not heard mud water as a descriptor, but I like it. Okay.
Yeah, that is a good one, mud water.
Yeah.
I can see that a little
Then
bit.
you're supposed to taste it, but I'm not going to yet. And then you're supposed to the finish. You're supposed to,
Look at that. She's gonna have her own channel before I do, right?
Yeah. Well, you go on it if you're going to do it like how they actually want to do it, like a lot of the judge and all that kind of stuff. There's 2 different things. When you sniff it, one is you take a long sniff. The other method is you take 3 short sniffs. Like when people do, if they want to actually check the aroma on a beer, that's how that usually works out to do it that way. And then when you look at it, most people will look at it to get the appearance, because that's what they're looking at with the appearance, and they'll describe what the foam is like, what the body color is like, all that kind of stuff. Some people say you should actually do the aroma first and then do the appearance, because your aroma will tick down time-wise where you'll lose some of that if you don't do it right out of the can or bottle first.
Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense.
And then after you do that stuff, then you go into doing like the taste of it and everything like that, and how you're supposed to get it all in the tongue so it hits all your taste buds and stuff like that too. But you know, you don't have to switch it around or anything like that. Like
hey, I'm here to learn, Rod. You tell me everything you know. I want to know.
But then at the end, you appreciate the finish and kind of how it hits you in the back. Welcome, Eric. How's it going, brother?
Hola, amigos.
Hey, hola.
I was gonna say, you got any Spanish for us there?
No habla inglés.
He looks like he's on ESPN.
Yeah.
So what part of Mexico are you in now?
Well, I was in a little town. Well, not really little, but it was about 2 hours northwest in Altacomoco, and now I'm back in Mexico City at the airport.
Nice. Okay. You said Altacomoco pretty good too. You got it down there.
Well, the Spanish is kind of rubbing off on me a little bit.
Yeah.
I want to go to Mexico.
Well, it's like we went to
Mexico.
We went to Cancun last. When did I go down there when I was doing the Dos Equis type videos? That was like around June or something, or May. And I took Spanish back when I was in high school for a couple of years. I took it a year when I was in college too, and it's like, so I remember some of the stuff back, but then it's like, do you actually want to use it in Mexico? Because then it's like, if you're one of them American people coming down here trying to talk Spanish when you don't really know. But occasionally I would hear something, I would respond to some slang that I remember from Spanish, whatever. But actually, a lot of guys were kind of encouraging about that too, so it worked out pretty well. So
I'm coming through all right, though.
Yeah,
you're
done good.
going through all right. So
I
what
know
are you
how to
drinking?
say shit in Spanish.
You know, like Badejo or something? Or...
Now, be quiet now. You're making screwing with my head. Mielda. I think it's Mielda. That's what Mielda.
And what was that mean?
One of my friends had a.
Just go outside and say it and see what kind of looks you get.
Yeah.
God, I am not.
See if you get any machetes or guns pulled on you or something. Just
I'm gonna pass that. I'll pass.
Yeah. I don't blame you. That's probably a good call. So listen to me. You're the one who brought it up, not me.
Whew.
Well, I'm just kind of wondering how I'm coming through because I got the Google Hangouts on the lowest setting, so I'm probably not coming through all that great either.
No, you sound
at least on the
fine,
video.
and your video quality is good.
I just turned your volume up a little, so you're fine.
All right.
But what are you drinking tonight?
Well, I haven't actually drank anything since the last time I was on the show. So I've been drinking is Coca-Cola pretty much all the time I've been here. Mm-mm.
Why not?
Nope. Can't put it on the company dime.
Gotcha. See.
Yeah.
Sure you can. There's ways around that.
They kind of frown upon that thing.
What time is it there?
It's 9:35 right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you're just Central time zone.
Mm-hmm.
See any good sights in Mexico or anything?
No, just a bunch of people cutting other people off on the road, and people are just kind of going on like it's an everyday occurrence.
So where you're at in Mexico, because I'm thinking about when I went to Mexico, your roads don't have like any middle like lines really, anything like that either, and you got like people like just in buses like sardine cans like stacked up. It was like it's kind of crazy.
The subway was the same way when it went by. I looked and I was like, God, those people are packed in there.
Yeah, it looks pretty tight. It's like, man.
The road infrastructure down here isn't the greatest. There's potholes everywhere down here.
Yeah. Well, their government sometimes doesn't, spend all the money on the people.
No doubt. So what are you two drinking tonight?
I'm just cracking open another Lagunitas something easy.
Another smoothie.
We just cracked open one of your favorite slushies from 450 North.
Miss
He
Eric.
hates coconut, right?
But it's a strawberry jam, Eric, though. So you know,
Oh yeah,
not the blackberry.
not the blackberry. No.
Eric's like, it was all right. We're like, it's all right.
Yeah,
Okay.
whatever.
Well, Eric, I was a little disappointed when I drank them too, because everybody's like,
Yeah,
"They're so good, they're so-"
see?
Yeah, I'm like, they're good, but I wouldn't write home about them.
Shannon, they're damn good.
That's on you.
I will say the blackberry slushy was better than the other one, though.
This is probably my favorite of any of them. The strawberry jam. Because we had that guava. Was it guava or papaya or mango or something?
Guava peach, I think.
We had that one, and then we had the black or berry or blueberry, and then we had this one, and this one's probably my favorite.
Yeah. So here's a question for people: Can beer ever get too far away from beer?
This is too far away from beer. This doesn't taste like beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I mean, I guess it could.
Do you think this tastes like beer?
No.
Yeah. If I had this, I would be like, this isn't beer.
Well, we all kind of said that when we all voted for the blackberry as being, one of our favorite ones. Like, is it really beer or not?
It kind of tastes like a strawberry margarita.
For me, Todd, except for me.
Well, yeah, you didn't have it on there.
When I had the
3
blackberry,
to 4, you were doing your own thing.
When I had the blackberry, it brought back images of being a 7-Eleven as a young kid. I mean, I'd have an alcohol slushy, but definitely tasted like a slushy.
Yeah, the only thing missing was the hot dogs on the rollers and the stale nacho chips and cheese that you can get from there.
Are you talking about the gas station?
Yeah, 7-Eleven, yeah.
Oh, but you need to get those taquitos. Those are good when you get them.
Oh, taquitos. Maxwell Star, our friend from
Yes.
7-Eleven.
I'm afraid to get them, though, because, did the person just, put them away and then put them back out the next day? I mean,
We put shit away and get it out the next day and eat it.
Yeah,
Do we not?
Yeah, but you never know if they actually did or not.
Well, I'm sure it's fine.
Let's see.
That's
Going back to...
Hey, we're getting ready to go to Clinton, Tennessee, and we're trying to find, between, is it 65 we take all the way? We take one interstate all the way down. And I'm like, we need to find, some breweries along that way that we wouldn't normally go to, but there's really not any big, cities along that way. But then we get down there and there's Knoxville, which he'll go to. I'm not going to leave my aunt. We're going to visit my aunt, but I'm trying to think if anybody knows any breweries along that line.
There's a couple in Franklin. There's a couple in Franklin, which is south of Nashville. I can't remember the names, but when I was looking through, there was quite a few in Franklin.
Well, you'll probably get stuff from...
It won't be that. Nashville's probably 3 hours from Knoxville.
Yeah, it takes us 3.5 hours to get there, so it's not. I think the biggest.
Oh, you're not going to Nashville?
No, it's called Clinton.
Oh,
it's just 20 miles north of Knoxville.
That's right. All right, I thought you guys were going to head over to Nashville too.
No, I'd like to. Like to go to Asheville. We went to Asheville. We were going to Bryson City in North Carolina last year, and we stopped in Asheville just to eat. And then we went on, but looked like there was a lot of cool. What was that place we stopped at there? You remember that restaurant we ate at? It was a brewery, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was. Click on it. My memory's terrible. I think I got Alzheimer's.
That one of my.
What's the big in North Carolina that got bought out last year?
Wicked Weed.
Yeah, Wicked Weed. Yeah, Wicked Weed.
No, I had one of my.
How can you not remember that?
I remember my residents. I take care of old people. I love old people. And I have this one resident, and he'd forget stuff, and he said, I just had a CRS moment. And I was like, what? And he was like, can't remember shit. Yeah, so when Todd can't remember, he's having a CRS moment.
Yeah. And I'll say that now. I'm like, my CRS is kicking in.
Todd, I'm right there with you, man. I got CRS bad.
Yeah, I do. I like that Wicked Weed. I could tell you Wicked Weed all day long, but then you ask me about it, I'm like, shit, I don't know what the name of it is. What's the name of it?
It's just our age.
Wicked Weed. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we went there. So, if she sticks with the craft beer stuff, we'll have to do a weekend down in Nashville.
Well, I'll try. I mean,
But she always liked going to the breweries,
Yeah,
and she
I
would
like
try
going.
certain ones. But no, if you're maybe open to broadening your horizons on different styles and stuff. Then...
What was the brewery we went to in Bloomington, and we got to tour the plant?
Upland.
It was Upland?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Upland's a good brewery.
Yeah, because we got to go and they showed us like how they brewed it, and they had a tour guide, and they took us like into they bottled it or canned it, and they took us in the factory where they did that. It was really cool. Even though I wasn't into it, drinking it, I'd like to see how it happened.
Yeah.
Sun King will do that too. That's a good one too to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just got
distribution
now. They're coming down this way, so I'm
Who
seeing their
is?
stuff. Sun King, I'm seeing more of their stuff.
Yeah, okay. I would assume you already got it anyway.
We've had a couple things where they teamed up with Rheingeist, but now we're getting Sun King through as well. So
That's some pretty decent stuff.
Eric Gilbert has said he had turf toe and ingrown tonails. Damn.
Oh, shit, some ingrown toenails. Woo.
Yeah. Well, he played
Same
hockey.
toe, same foot.
I would think. I mean, was it the same foot, Eric? I would think it probably was.
Ugh.
You'd have to put me down.
Yeah, just cut it off.
Thrash Metal, welcome, Thrash. He says, cheers all. Happy pre-Friday. Yeah. My Friday, because I'm on a 4-day weekend, son.
Nice.
Why you like the bragger, Rod?
Beardy has said earlier your beer looked like tomato soup, too.
It does look like tomato soup.
I like the Mudwater.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one.
Yeah.
Is it
there?
Rod's got it.
Is
Next
that the strawberry
video, Rod
slushy?
does like it looks like mud water.
Yeah, strawberry slushy. When you first poured it out, it was kind of like Shannon said Mudwater when it looked at it.
I thought she might have had a chilada going on.
You know, I actually may do one of the enchiladas at some point after I did that one from Shorts, that Bloody Beer, which is like pretty much a Bloody Mary type beer.
Ooh.
I said, you know what, isn't really that bad with tomato juice with these. I might try a few of those.
What was that, Rod? I love Bloody Marys.
It was called Bloody Beer. It's from Shorts Brewing out of Michigan, up where Eric's at. Well, I guess it's like west of where you're at, actually, where Shorts is located, right, Eric, or is it east of you?
It's north about 3.5, 4 hours.
Okay, and they do some.
They're
pretty
up
good
by
beers.
Traverse City.
It was just one of those weird beers I came by, I saw it in the aisle, and I was like, the label was like kind of interesting, and then the ingredients, I was like, all right, we'll give it a shot.
So can you get it around here?
Do you get Shorts there, Eric? I mean, not Eric, Todd.
Yeah, we get Shorts.
You might be able to find it. I got mine at Jungle Chimps, which is like, they get pretty much anything.
Is it one you can get all the time, or is it just seasonal?
I think it's one all the time.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Website. I liked it. I didn't think I would. I mean, I didn't say I didn't think I would. I didn't know what I would expect from it because it had Roma tomatoes and it had other stuff in it. And I'm like, this is like weird. But
do you like Bloody Mary?
I'm intrigued. A little bit here and there. I've had some I liked and some I haven't. So
I'm pretty sure I've seen that one, but I'm not a Bloody Mary guy, so I didn't look for it. I kind of passed it up.
We went to when we were in Myrtle Beach or Panama City a few years back. They had a winery down there, and all of their wines were made with I think it was like citrus fruits.
Yeah.
And I got one. It was a tomato wine. Oh my God, it was so good. Did you try that? Did I let you taste that? Mm-hmm. Oh, it was so good. And you can actually, they said, I don't even know if it's still in business or not, but you can order it and they'll ship it to you somehow.
They are. They're still in business.
I love tomato though. Yeah, Bloody Beer. That sounds good.
Yeah, it was interesting. And then Eric Gilbert said Mexican cola, baby. Did you get the Mexican? Did you get the Mexican version of the soda, Eric?
No, to me, it didn't taste any different.
What's it called?
Because they use real sugar in Mexico.
Yeah.
I wonder if they give you the American version.
What the hell do we use here?
They use
corn syrup.
What the hell do we use here?
Yeah.
If you ever go to the grocery store and you go to the Latino or Latin aisle, whatever, they always have our sign that says Latin aisle. You'll see Coke in the old glass bottles and
they had glass bottles here.
Orange, those are out of Mexico directly, and they use a different formula than what they use for America. Yeah.
And what do we use here? Like high fructose sugar or whatever?
Whatever the cancer company pours into it.
Yeah, that's exactly it right there. Yeah.
I think they just use like corn syrup, isn't it?
Yeah, they use actually. Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be. I've never actually tried it, but I heard it was really good. Their version. I don't know why.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Is it better, Eric?
To me, it didn't really taste any different. When I first had it, I'm like, damn, this tastes good. And it's probably, Brad, you're probably right. They probably use real sugar instead of that high fructose corn syrup BS that they put in it now.
Right.
Yeah, because when they used to be able to, in the States, was made with sugar until like in the late 80s, I think they switched over to the corn sugar or corn syrup, and your body doesn't know how to digest that. And that's when weight problems started becoming an issue.
Right.
As where sugar is okay because your body can absorb it and turn it into energy or whatever burn the sugars. But
your body knows how to process that.
Corn syrup basically.
It's natural.
Corn syrup basically just like turns into plastic.
Yeah, it's chemical. That's what they say about margarine too. It's like it's better just to use real butter.
Yeah, that's what we use, real butter. We don't use margarine. But like when you go to Mexico, one of the things that I noticed when we stayed at our resort, they don't use sweet and low. Sweet and low is not approved in Mexico.
It shouldn't be
because of the saccharin. So they have like they have Equal, and they have like the Splenda, and they have actual sugar. But you cannot get sweet and low there. They will not.
Yeah, if you look at the package of sweet and low, it'll tell you there's like cancer causing whatever, like a pack of cigarettes. It's got a warning label on it.
Yeah,
used to anyway.
Eric, have you drank the water yet?
I have not, sir.
That'd be a shitty flight home.
Very, very shitty flight home. This is just going to be my seat for the entire flight home, ma'am.
Yeah. I'll just turn the laboratory sign on and nobody else can come in.
So, let me ask you this. Are you flying back tomorrow?
Yeah, fly back to Detroit.
So have they said anything to you guys, like you have to get there any extra early for getting screened in or anything? Because like up here, since you've been going, like some of the airports have been reducing stuff at the airports because the TSA people have been calling out. So there's actually been less lines and people have been backed up longer.
Well, when I came through, I came in through Lansing. I didn't go through Detroit. Mm-hmm. When I came through Lansing, there was about 5 or 6 TSA agents, but that airport's pretty small. Mm-hmm. So I just got right in, and boom, I was through security like less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Now coming back, I don't know how that's going to be. We're staying. The airport's just like 100 yards from my hotel room, so I can literally walk to almost to the gate.
Yeah, and I'm not saying TSA is not going to do their job. I'm just saying it's less on me.
Yeah.
But a guy flew from Miami to Japan with a gun. I don't know if you saw that or not. Yeah, like last week, he got to Japan and then let the Japan officials know that he had a gun on him. Because Japan is real strict on their gun laws, and then. Like, how did you get it? Like, I took the flight from Miami. It's kind of like
just walked on.
Yeah, I don't know if he forgot he had the gun or like that, but when he got there, he told him he did have the gun and stuff, and I guess they held it for him or whatever. But yeah,
jeez.
But I don't know if TSA were waving just people through or what. There's a lot of funny skits online about stuff now, but
that'll be on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
But welcome, Elbow88 was here as well, and he said, cheers, folks. You got a resin from 6 Point Brewery, and resin's a pretty good beer from 6.2. Nice, dank beer, and I haven't had a resin in a while, but that's a nice one. And 6 Point does some pretty good stuff out of New York, so always worth checking out. Eric Gilbert said both toes. Wait a minute, you only got 2 toes or both feet?
Probably both big toes.
Yeah, both big toes, maybe.
Oh, Jesus.
That sucks.
And then Foamy Head, welcome Foamy Head. He says, I heard today on Liquid Lunch that new Brofels Brewing Company beer is available in Indiana. So that's another new brewery you have there, it looks like.
What is it again?
New Braunfels. I haven't heard of them before. I'm not sure what they're known for, but you heard they're distributed in Indiana now.
Huh. I have to look for that.
Yeah. Eric Gilbert said, LOL, I think off the 2 feet comment or 2 toes. But yeah. And he said,
hey, Rod, where's that brewery out of?
I don't know, Foamy Head, if you're still there, what's that brewery out of for New Braunfels? If not, I'll look on here online. And then Eric Gilbert said his cocktails are the martini and Negroni. Love a gin cocktail. Yeah, gin cocktail can be nice. So, plus you get to say Bond, James Bond. Choose any James Bond you like to do. Okay, look, come on. I still gotta say Sean Connery was the best James Bond of all the Bonds. I mean,
yeah.
What? Shannon's like what? Who was better than Sean Connery?
Well, just in visual, and he may not have even been James Bond. Was Pierce Bronson?
Yeah, it was James
Bond.
Yeah, he was GoldenEye on the video game.
Oh, yeah, GoldenEye. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, I mean, I like Sean Connery.
You're thinking of the old Sean Connery, and Sean Connery was James Bond. He was.
Oh, I know.
Young Sean Connery.
I know.
Yeah, I know. You don't have to be so animated about it.
Oh, please.
that was a pass for Shannon.
Lighten up, dude.
No, I'm just kidding.
Now we gotta admit, Rod, where did you get the Stone Cold GIF at?
Oh,
Stone
just
Cold?
online. Yeah, doing the beer up top on my back.
Oh.
Yeah. So I've been messing around with the OBS. Once I got figured out how to actually use it in Google Hangouts, and I got all this board to mess around with. So I threw the Stone Cold in there to see how I like that one. I was going to put the Dave Chappelle, Samuel Jackson, what was it, the beer one he did? He's like, bitch. I'm like, oh, I don't want to put that on there today. But I found all these different GIFs to add into it, so I can add different things in there. And
surprised you don't have a Dusty Rhodes up there.
Give me time. Well, who drank more beer than like Stone Cold, right? So
Andre the Giant.
Yeah. But it wasn't part of his act.
No, it wasn't. That was just in one sitting where he drank like 200 beers or whatever it was.
This only has 4.5% alcohol.
This one does.
It's a baby
What
beer.
about this one? How much? That one had like 6, didn't it?
6 or 7.
That's gonna go bad.
Buzz on with these low ABV.
I can't. Yeah, I can only drink a couple of them.
Foamy Head said they are out of Texas. They do a lot of fruited wild ales. So you'll probably get some stuff similar to Urban Artifact with them, Todd.
Okay. I have to look out for it.
Yeah, so that'd be something to definitely check out. Wow, the whole time we've been on here, I've only got like one beer news article that we actually went through. But it's good. It's all good. There is a website out there as well. There's a crowdfunded website that someone started. We talked earlier, Eric, about Shutdown and how it affected craft beer and stuff like that too. And one of the websites is how to donate a beer to a furloughed employee. So that's kind of interesting.
Let's do that.
So that's something pretty cool that you can go out there. If you go to the website, it's like Channel 3000 number. They made mention of the story there. So, and CBS News also ran with it. But if you want to donate to a furloughed employee beer site, you can do that there.
Yeah.
Which was actually the shutdown thing. One of the cool things to all my friends here that are from Canada, it really just kind of shows some of that Canadian niceness. I don't know if you saw that, the air traffic controllers last week. Yeah. The Canadian air traffic controllers sent pizzas to all the ones that had to work in America for air traffic controllers. That was a pretty cool thing to do. And they didn't know it was like all these pizzas would get delivered, and they found out the Canadian air traffic controllers had sent them pizza to get them through stuff. So that was nice of them. That's
awesome.
Yeah. So a lot of people.
You live in a truly global economy when you can do that kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So big ups to them for showing some love there. The Slighty Mighty is the Dogfish Head beer that Scott had made mention to from French Hall's Beer Reviews. That'll be the 95 calorie IPA. So it's called Slighty Mighty. That's kind of a little too close to Tidy Whitey for me.
Yeah, it is. That's a good point, Eric. What are you drinking, the Tidy Whitey? I mean,
Eric, were you watching when I was asking Rod about the dad bod and the? Okay, so we were talking about men and women, whatever. But tell me what percentage you think of this. Would you rather? Let me ask the question first. Would you rather go on a date with a guy who posts videos of himself at the gym or has a dad bod? What's the percentage of the women that you think said dad bod?
I would say probably close to 70%.
80%. 79%. Yes.
79.
It's not insane. I'd rather date a guy with a dad bod than
You're in luck.
Now, what was the age range? What was the age range of that?
I have no idea. It was young women. Because I follow this. I'm sure it was young women because
this wasn't like an R. Kelly survey, right? Like it wasn't like girls in grade school.
I follow this Instagram called Betches. I think that's how you pronounce this, Betches. And it's mostly 20-something-year-old girls, but they're funny. So that's why I follow them, but I saw that.
R. Kelly.
I can't watch that. Todd said he saw something. I'm like, I'm not watching it because it'll just piss me off.
With the R. Kelly.
Turn the channel, Todd!
Yeah.
Turn the channel!
Yeah, I saw like 10 minutes of like episode 3 or something.
Did you see the story that came out about how R. Kelly's bodyguards, whatever, were going to try to attack Dave Chappelle?
What?
No.
What?
You remember when Dave Chappelle did a Dave Chappelle show years ago? He did a skit about R. Kelly peeing on people.
Oh yeah.
Well, there was something that happened where Dave had been out, and R. Kelly and his people were somewhere, and they were in the same area, and that his crew was going to try to attack Dave or whatever. But Dave had his crew there. Dave's crew stopped them from attacking him, and it's kind of like R. Kelly was mad about, and he made a joke about it on his show, like about how R. Kelly said, "How you gonna do a video about me peeing on people?" And Dave's like, "Well, how you gonna be peeing on people?"
Why are you doing it for?
How you gonna be peeing on people?
But everybody thought it was a joke, and it just came out this last week about how this whole thing had happened and stuff. So.
What can I say? Hear him in his voice. Hear him in his Dave Chappelle voice. Why are you all peeing on people?
Yeah. Elbows, Eric says, does your hotel have a bar? Maybe you could get a Modelo or Corona, which would be your choice.
I ain't sure in the hell ain't gonna be Corona.
Modelo is good. That's what Carrie drinks.
Modelo, I would take a Modelo over a Corona.
But she thought that Modelo had like 0 calories, so she's been drinking the shit out of those. But it don't matter. She's hot anyway, so.
See, they should have put you in an all-inclusive type hotel, whatever, where they would have like a bar or even a room. Then your company wouldn't have to worry about anything. It was just been included.
Drink the rest of that here.
Well, there is a like it's booze and all that sort of thing up and over here. There is that.
Yeah, but so they charge you if he takes it, they charge you for it.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah. See, that's why you gotta go downstairs and just stumble into some other type of office gathering or party or wedding reception, whatever it may be. You got to just stumble into it and be like,
"Oh, how did this get on the floor?"
Yeah.
I saw some pictures today on the Dogfish Head Hotel thing there in Ohio, Rod.
Yeah.
And you may have said this before, but I don't remember. But some of the pictures had like a refrigerator in the shower, and it was stocked with beers.
So a brewery has a hotel?
Oh, for Brewdog, yeah.
Yeah, Brewdog, yeah.
Yeah, Brewdog, they had the shower beers, with your hotel room is stocked with beers, and it's like 26 rooms at the brewery now that you can get. So it looks really cool.
I think you said like if you bought the Brewdog stuff, it was like $4 a beer, which didn't seem bad. And then outside of Brewdog stuff, it was, whatever market price or, for lack of a better term.
What part of Ohio?
Columbus.
Was in Columbus?
Is that where we went and they had that big, huge mall thing with Ben and Aunt? Oh, well, we need to go there.
Yeah.
We can stay there.
Well, they got the Brewdog Hotel in Columbus, and then at some point this year, it has opened by now, it will be out in San Diego, will be the Stone Hotel Resort for their brewery, which looks pretty sweet from the designs I saw.
San Diego, I'd like to go to San Diego.
Speaking of Stone, did Miller Coors and Stone did they settle about their little their trademark thing that they had going on?
I thought they had come to some type of agreement or whatever. I mean, it was more Greg Cook being kind of I won't say like a douche with her, but pretty much like a douche, it seems. So,
basically.
Yeah. It's like nobody's going to confuse Keystone with Stone.
Yeah, nobody is. Nobody.
So it's Stone like a craft beer.
Mm-hmm.
Ray Charles could see that difference. If you
That's
were
a good one.
if you were alive.
He's like, I can even see that.
But Flying Dog is releasing a THC infused medicinal cannabis beer. So I don't know if you need a prescription to get that, or if it's probably going to be at the only the weed places to be able to get it. But that'll be interesting. The
Get it with our medical marijuana cards.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because
I'm going to get one of those. If it ever passes, I'm getting one of those.
oh, wait a second.
It's past here, Shannon. It's past here.
Shannon, we got 4 medical dispensaries in Ohio. Hook a brother up.
Really? Oh, I will. If I can ever get one, I will.
But it's funny. We just opened in one here in Ohio. So they had the first one open up, and I guess they had their first sales yesterday or whatever. And people were like making jokes on that. They went in there and someone bought, and they said it was like 2.5 grams of some type of, and they gave the strain name for the marijuana was bought or whatever. And it was like, I think it was like $250 on that and everything. And they're like, for 2.5, I know a guy, blah, blah, blah. To get to you. And they're like, did you buy marijuana or Coke? You know, people were making jokes about it and stuff. But yeah, it's going to probably be marked up because of that. And it's like, well, now people are going to start turning back to the streets because the streets are going to be lower price. So
right. Well, I think I think it was Indiana, maybe it was Kentucky, but they trying to pass a law for medical marijuana.
Kentucky's trying to, yeah.
Maybe it's Kentucky, yeah.
Which
Because
is really surprising considering our governor. But
I know. Well, and that's Indiana too. It's just like I feel like I'm one of the I feel like I'm surrounded by so many people that don't believe the same things I do, and it's just like I feel so. Don't you feel that way?
At a place.
Yeah, it's just like I feel like we're living in the wrong state.
I mean, shit, we were one of the last states in the country to sell beer on Sundays.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we had to go across the river to buy beer up until like last year.
Yeah. I remember telling Todd when they were going to do that. He's like, "What? Really?"
Yeah. Yeah, I'd go to Myers. I remember I used to work third shift, or I'd just go shopping late, and I'd go on a Sunday night, and I'd go and put some wine, and I get it. You can't buy this. I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? It's ridiculous.
Well,
no, but the medical marijuana, like legit, it could probably replace like most of the medicine I take. It really could.
Yeah, I mean, the medicinal benefits that people are saying, they had I think one of the guys had a story online about how much he cut down, and he had just pretty much smoked marijuana versus the medicines he took before, and how much it changed everything for him.
Right. Well, I take something to sleep. I take something for restless legs. Like I run in my sleep, like legit. And I don't even know I'm doing it, but sometimes it's hard for me to fall asleep because my legs are, and I bet that would help it. If I had that, I'd probably be out and no different.
That's why they're fighting it, because if that would take care of
for America.
That would take care of so many other.
But then they'll get their hand in it.
Well, no, they will eventually, but if it replaces the amount of medicines that somebody takes.
Yeah, because just me,
they're losing
just me, they're probably getting $200-300 a month with my insurance and everything.
Such a racket.
It is such a racket.
Yeah.
And if I would have been smarter when all this stuff started, I would have tried other alternatives instead of just going straight to the doctor and getting a prescription for something. But everybody wants a quick fix.
Yeah. Well, in Pennsylvania, one brewery, I keep coming back to the government shutdown, but one brewery,
circles around.
St. Boniface Craft Brewing Company in Ephrata, Lancaster County. Probably Paul would know where this place is. They released their government shutdown double IPA today at 4:00. So this afternoon they released that, and this is like.
Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's made with 9.3% ABV, dry hopped with Ella and El Dorado hops, and I think it had another one here, but they didn't know what the name. It didn't list what the name was. But it's basically, and because of the shutdown. So It's kind of interesting. I was trying to see if it said anything else on the article about it. But
did you all see the beer that had the rings that hold it together? You know how there's a big controversy how sea turtle.
Oh yeah, for the ring so that they wouldn't kill the fish and stuff.
It feeds them. It's like
it's like food.
Yeah, it turns into food when it hits the ocean water.
Yeah. Although I like the picture of Aquaman being caught up in them that they were showing online too. He couldn't get out of them. One of the memes I saw was pretty funny. And then of course now, Eric's here now, so I can ask Eric about this. So Eric saw the article. Eric had a different opinion or an opinion about this beer coming out. Metallica's were teamed up with Stone for this new beer coming out. It's a Pilsner. It's called Enter Night. And after Eric posted, I asked Eric, why he felt that way about it or whatever, because he said fail, I believe, where he said maybe #fail or whatever. But then I saw then I saw other people that were posting stuff, and it was more driven because when you think of Metallica, you're thinking like dark type beer, possibly if they're going to do a beer. So I don't know if that was your thinking or what your feeling was, Eric.
Yeah, I thought it was like a Pilsner. What the hell are they doing a Pilsner out of? And something that's a beer that's going to be called Enter Night. Should be a porter or a stout. It shouldn't be a Pilsner.
Yeah, something dark or something you would think.
Well, then I think
barrel age. If it's Metallica, you think like over the top kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I saw one of the comments. That mentioned when you think of the band's reputation, you would think it would have been something more of a darker type beer. So I didn't think of it originally. I just thought, hey, Metallica's got a beer coming out. But yeah.
Although what's the Iron Maiden beer? It's a
Trooper. Yeah, Iron Maiden has Trooper. Isn't that one of the Pilsner?
Yeah, Trooper. Yeah, but what's the style? Isn't that a Pilsner too, or no?
I think it is. I haven't drank that one. For whatever reason, I've seen that like tons of times and never picked it up.
Doesn't Dave Mustaine have a beer or something like that? Or Megadeth had one?
Megadeth has one as well, yeah. And I think that one, I don't know if that one's a dark one. I don't think it is. So I don't know. Maybe
I've seen that one.
But see, when I think of dark beers, coffee, I think of women. I think of more like, I don't think of like hard rock. Women like coffee. That's what I think of.
Yeah, but you're thinking all dark beer is coffee, which it isn't though either.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking of stouts when I think of stouts. But like I said, I didn't care for that. I didn't care for that porter we had last night. Maybe I might like a different one.
You might like Founder's Porter.
Really?
Did you like the one when I had the Bell's Porter last night?
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
You might like the Founder's one.
Maybe I'll try that one.
Breakfast Stout, Eric? Is that the one you're talking about?
No, the Founder's Porter.
Oh, the porter.
Oh, yeah, just a straight porter. Yeah.
The porter, okay.
Breakfast Stout is good, though.
Yeah.
The stout we had last night, we have it's not Starbucks, but it's like our local coffee place. There might be other ones. It's called Coffee Crossing, and they had a Coffee Crossing Stout, and it was really good. Did you like that one?
Yeah. Wait,
yeah.
So he cold crashes it with their grains or beans or whatever.
Does it have any alcohol in it or no?
Yeah. It was like 6.5%, maybe something like that.
Wow.
Well, we had one and it was 9. That was the unicorn.
Yeah, which is a Scotch ale, wee heavy kind of.
Yeah.
What they do every year, they on St. Patty's Day, they'll do a breakfast and then a barrel aged. The beer is called Unicorn, and it's like I said, it's a Scotch ale, and they'll barrel age it and then bottle that one.
See, that's what I really like that brewery, but like we were talking earlier, Rod, it's like I find something I like and then that's all I want to do. So we probably need to go to some other breweries, but I really do like that place.
You can go back to 450 North, Todd.
Yeah, we need to make a trip up there for sure.
Look at Todd's like, oh, she's in.
I mean, I'd go up there anytime.
We've been there before she even really drank it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm up for anything, really. Even if I don't like craft beer, I'll go with him.
Yeah, she'd go to the breweries, but I was like, it'd be nice to if she would enjoy some of the beers and stuff too. Which,
Yeah.
if they had mixed drinks or wine or serve, some of them will serve Bud Light or something. She'd get that, but
yeah.
But now he gets to teach me stuff which he loves.
yeah. So now I can.
So he can, because he knows more about it than me.
Oh no, now we can like split flights and stuff.
Yeah, I did enjoy when we had our flight last night. But I drank most of it. I'd get one and I keep drinking it, and then I'd be like, "Well, shit, maybe he wants some."
You better watch out, Todd, because she's reading a book now. So
I am. I'm getting it, and I'm getting my highlighters and my Post-it notes.
be ready for the test in about 2 weeks, Rod.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beer 101.
No test, just thoughts.
Pizza Hut. When's the last time you had Pizza Hut? Do you guys eat Pizza Hut that much?
Not very often.
Not really.
Yeah, I haven't had one in a long time, but apparently they're now adding beer delivery service to their pizza service.
I saw that.
Yeah. Pizza and beer go together. Well, maybe that's a play to get people to check them out more, because now you can get beer with your pizza.
Can I get a large pepperoni pizza and a 6-pack of Miller Lite?
We had a local establishment that was pizza, and they did beer delivery. Delivery. You could just call them up and ask for beer, and they would just deliver you a 6-pack.
There you go.
It was the same owner of Big Four Burgers and Beer. It was there in New Albany.
Was it like when you lived at home?
No, just like in the last couple of years.
Really?
But he sold now. It's not open anymore.
How come we never did? Well, we don't really ever need people to deliver beer to us.
Yeah. No, you go downstairs and be like, "What do you want?"
Yeah.
What do you guys get Amazon delivering beer yet in your areas?
No.
No, we can get on the Cincinnati side. We can get it. They deliver it within a couple of hours, but
really,
yeah,
we don't have Uber Eats. We don't have any of that stuff.
I think we do now.
No,
we don't.
No, I check every. You know how? God.
I know.
You guys don't have Grubhub either?
No, they don't deliver to us.
We have. Well, we just got a thing in the mail the other day. It was actually Deal Dash.
Yes, yes.
And I asked her, we have at our Wendy's, it's right on the window. I'm like, do people really use? He's like, yeah, we actually do get calls when people are doing a Deal Dash with us out here. So, because we're like Todd's been out here, kind of a rural area still, but Deal Dash and Uber Eats, I think, is out here now too. So,
well, that Deal Dash, Dee Dee said she was at Chick-fil-A, and she said there's like 6 or 7 of them came in there. Yeah, that must just be in Clarksville and Jeff and all that. But yeah, they don't come out here to Sellersburg.
We're just getting Chick-fil-A here. Well, here, not in Mexico City, but Michigan.
Yeah, really.
Mm-hmm. They're just starting to crop up.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll see them. They'll be lined up all the way around the building. But I tell you what, though, that's the best, most structured drive-through you'll ever see.
Yes.
It was funny.
There might be 35 cars in there, but you'll get there through that faster than you will with 2 cars at McDonald's.
Yeah, they have it.
No joke.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unreal.
Our McDonald's struggles with the whole 2-car.
Our McDonald's struggles with everything.
It'd be like 5 cars and it'd be like 15 minutes. I'm like, what is taking so long? It's like,
and then the food's cold.
Yeah, and then the food's nice. It's like, it sucks.
But Eric Gilbert says Pizza Hut beer ? Leave the pizza, take the beer, which would be kind of funny. Like you call them and say, just bring me 2 6-packs. I don't want the pizza. I just want you to bring me the beer.
Right.
Yeah. We'll buy the pizza, but you can just eat it yourself.
Yeah.
Bring the beer.
It'd be a nice way to play it. So, the takeout. Here's an interesting idea, because who doesn't like Girl Scout cookies? They're having a Girl Scout cookie and beer festival.
What?
Yeah, so
Been damn Girl Scouts.
How is that going to happen? We in with Girl Scouts.
this will be at the Baker's Life. No, well, the Girl Scouts won't be there. Not the Girl Scout cookies.
Like, here's your Samoas and a 6-pack of beer.
Yeah. Well, they'll probably
Give me
Girl
some
Scouts
Thin
maybe
Mints.
out front.
Tag-alongs.
So it takes place. Oh my goodness, Todd, Shannon.
Oh.
This is in Indianapolis.
Oh yeah, Banker's Life. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Next Thursday, the 24th. It'll be from
And
5:30 to 8 o'clock. will feature 10 craft breweries, each of which will offer more beer and cookie pairings.
Cookies.
I'm just telling you, it's right there in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
We'll be headed to Tennessee.
Yeah, we're going south that week. Maybe, well, that weekend anyway.
Yeah. And then, let me see here. It's not the only one taking place. For the website, it says in just a few minutes, a search and found upcoming events in Aurora, Illinois, Covina, California, Bloomington, Illinois, Durham, North Carolina, Kalamazoo, Michigan. I don't know how far you are from Kalamazoo. San Francisco, California, and Austin, Texas. Plus a cookies and cocktails event in Tucson, Arizona. That's Joe D's territory there.
We need to go there.
So is it just Girl Scout cookies or just cookies in general?
Girl Scout cookies with beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I bet a Samoa would taste real good with some beer.
Well, they make a
Samoa.
Samoa.
One was found in Chicago as well. And someone says cheers and enjoy your Samoas at the end of the article.
I'm going to have to check that out in Kalamazoo.
I'm not big on the Samoa. The cookies.
You put them in the freezer. The Samoas and the Thin Mints, put them in the freezer and eat them right out of the freezer. Oh, they're so good.
But see, if I get a Dipsy Doo, the peanut butter one.
Yes, those are good too.
And a Sweet Baby Jesus. Get a Sweet Baby Jesus with it. That might be a nice little pair and a half. Peanut butter working.
Southern Tier, the Cherry Cordial, and all those.
Yeah.
They do a Thin
Mint.
Mint.
Yeah, I remember.
They do the Thin Mint and the Samoa.
We tasted them, didn't we?
Did they have?
Yeah, I know they had the Samoa anyway.
Yeah.
I don't remember the Thin Mint.
You know, doing that's kind of a cool idea for the Girl Scouts to raise money, but really, if they were really thinking about it, better than doing it with a beer event, which isn't bad. You got to get the dispensaries and all the states to legalize
exactly.
Weed.
Yes. Yeah.
Girl Scouts and dispensaries.
Give it time.
Well, which if I remember last year, there was a Girl Scout that sold the most Girl Scout cookies. It was outside a dispensary, and the Girl Scout organization pretty much like slammed her for doing it or whatever. Like they kind of like said you can't.
Of course.
And I'm like, where? That shows ingenuity. Where else would you go if you got Girl Scout cookies? What's a better place to go to than where
they probably still filled their order though?
Yeah, I was gonna say, but they took the money anyway.
Oh, I'm sure they did. Yeah.
Shame on you. Here's our $1,000.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
That should be a whole new badge for constructive thinking or something.
Yeah.
Like you're going straight from Girl Scout to I don't know what's above a Girl Scout. Like you have Eagle Scouts. Eagle Scouts big, but a Girl Scout.
And the Girl Scouts join the Eagle Scouts.
Oh, they do. Oh, and they should be able to. If you come up with that idea, you should go like straight to the top.
Kind of covering the sports angle here on the show. If you're going to talk shit about a kicker not making a field goal, then at least go down and make the field goal. I don't know if you guys saw with the Goose Island challenge. They were talking stuff about the Chicago kicker missed a field goal in the game, I guess.
Yeah, costing the game.
So Goose Island said, we'll give anybody, I forgot what the amount of beer was, if you can come down here and make a 43-yard field goal.
I always do.
Zero.
Someone was talking shit, and they said, I can make a 43-yard field goal.
What would they get now?
None of them, nobody that came there made the field goal.
No. But what would they get if they did make it?
It was like a ton of beer they were getting from Goose Island.
Yeah. That's harder than it looks.
Yeah, and then the kicker that had to do it in the game, I guess, was not the best conditions either. So the people that came down to try it were in better conditions than the kicker was. And no crowd sitting there yelling or anything like that. No pressure there. Make this kick and you get all this beer or whatever. And none of them did it. So just a note to the armchair second day quarterbacks out there.
Did it say how many people tried to do it?
I think let me take a look here, see what the number was.
Yeah, he's making millions of dollars. That's his job.
Yeah, but still, you shouldn't be so hard. You don't know. They might have the flu or something. He's always talking shit about all the players on TV.
Obviously, you haven't watched Eric's channel.
You pick on them poor boys too.
Oh yeah, if they screw up, I'm on their ass.
Only
That's right.
only the Lions, though.
In Detroit, in Tigers.
What the hell, Stanford?
He was on the Tigers pretty good this summer, or past summer.
Yeah, let me see how many people.
I knew they were probably going to not be very good, Todd, but there were some boneheaded plays they did where.
Yeah. Well, we're in the Cincinnati area, so you ain't got to tell us about boneheaded and being shitty and sucky and.
What the hell are the Reds doing?
They had 100 people come down to this thing.
Oh wow!
And 0. And look at this fat guy. Let me pull this up here on the thing. Give me one second.
I'd like to know if anybody actually got close to even getting close to making it.
Let me take.
Like I bet most of them probably didn't even make it to the end zone.
Yeah. Let me share my screen.
Like in the air, not like rolling, but like kicking it in the air and actually getting somewhat close.
So, can you guys see my screen? Should you see my screen here? That's doing that weird stuff. But anyway,
here we go.
So now so you see the screen, right? Like
0 for 100.
0 for 100, and scroll down.
So is it snowy when that guy tried to do it?
The cat's ready to fall down.
Yeah, right there's a guy. What else we got in the photo gallery here? Let's see here.
That's pretty good that they did that, though. That's funny. Because they just basically land-based that guy for missing that. I think he, if I'm not mistaken, didn't he miss 2 field goals in that game?
And here's the guys here. Because they didn't do it at the stadium. They did it like out on the street, I guess. So here's the 2 guys. Got the goalpost. Just kick it over the goalpost. That's all you got to do. And see if anybody did anything else here.
You got to have some height on that ball too for it to be like what 7 or 8 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, it's I think the crossbar is 10 feet. I think.
I don't know. She's got Chuck Tails on. She ain't gonna make that kick.
Yeah, like the ball's already coming down in that picture.
She did get it up though. I'll give her that. She did get it up.
Yeah, I think it's 10 feet, Eric. I think it's the crossbar.
Yeah.
10 feet. So you got to have that ball up in the air plus the distance to get it there.
Yeah.
And I'm only thinking that because a lot of the guys will go up and like, dunk it or whatever.
Well, let's go back like this guy here. Let's go back to this guy. Let me go back. Let me go back to this guy because this guy was seriously coming out thinking he could actually do it. Let me pull it up here. My computer's taking a little bit of time. Come on, computer.
The guy kind of like Chris Farley falling on the ground there.
Yeah, this computer's like a new computer, so it shouldn't be taking this long. It's got to be the Spectrum Internet. There we go. Let's see here. So this guy seriously came out back with his high school jersey from back in the day.
Polka.
Either he saved the cleats or he went down to Play It Again Sports and picked up some used ones. He's got the cleats on. He's got the old school shorts over the tights or sweatpants with the socks over the pants. I mean, this guy was seriously coming out to try to do something. I have no idea what's going on with his hair though. But the jersey,
That's hilarious. That's good.
Yeah, and the girl, mind you, the girl got it up higher than he did at that point.
Yeah, he totally whiffed on that one. Not to mention he's falling on his ass for sure.
Yeah, he's got the poke. He's got the poke high going,
Yeah, exactly. Scored 3 touchdowns and.
See if there's anybody else crazy here. Hey, drunken one, welcome. Oh, there we go. There's the.
There he is on his ass. Yes.
We kind of saw that coming, didn't we? I mean,
that's awesome.
And I can
picture this guy. I can picture this guy now, like when the ball's on the ground, he's standing up there, like pulling the sleeves up, like, "Yes, this is nothing. I'm going to do it." And then he Charlie Browns it.
Oh, that's awesome. Hey, Drunken One, welcome, brother. He says, hey, gang, 2 hours. What the hell was I? Here's another guy that kind of fell out who barely didn't get the ball that far from what it looks like. Or did he get shot with a bow and arrow? What is that?
Looked like he got concussed.
Yeah. Let's see. There's another guy falling down.
What's the odds that Vegas had an over-under and how many people would fall during the... I'm going to wager on over-under 30 and people falling on their ass trying to kick the ball.
Let's see, there's another one here. Yeah, it's like people that sit there talking and barking. I mean, it's kind of like there's some things, you know, players screw up. Yeah, they screw up, but there's some stuff like, dude, you're not a professional athlete like that guy. You're not going to be able to do any better.
First of all, you have to get it to the uprights first.
Right.
Yeah. I'm going to stop sharing because this is taking too long. But anyway.
Especially like kicker, you think that their job would be so easy, you know, but then all those people go out there and try it. It's not so easy.
Yeah. Because you always say you're a kicker. All you got to do is kick the ball. You got one job to do. Yeah. That one job is not always easy.
Like you have one thing to do.
It's like that Green Bay kicker that was at Ford Field. He's like, dude, I don't know. It's like 6 field goals. He's like, dude, I don't know what's going on.
And the guy that fell down says, I know I can make the kick. I just slipped. Okay. So you keep telling yourself. Yeah. Keep telling yourself.
Blame it on the snow.
And so what was they giving away? I'm trying to think they were giving away now. It does say since no one they're giving away 20,000, I guess, is what it was. I thought they were giving away beer, but they say plan to donate 20,000 to the Children's Hospital as the charity's choice of Parkey, the kicker on the team, since none of them made it. So, and then at the end of the day, it's a good thing for to donate some of the funds there. But it's just funny.
Did it cost them to kick, like to enter in or whatever?
I don't think it did. I just think they'd come down here and we'll do it. Yeah, I don't think they had to pay anything for it. So did they donate anyway, even though nobody made it? Because nobody made it, they give 20,000 to that hospital.
But I mean, since nobody made it, did they donate?
Yeah, nobody made it, so they're giving 20,000.
20,000 and nobody made it.
You understand the words coming out of my mouth?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I thought you were saying if somebody made it, they were going to donate 20,000.
Welcome to my world, Rod.
Shut up.
What?
You heard me.
Oh,
whoa!
So funny.
Welcome to my world.
Drunken Wes says, I don't know, Drunken Wes says, hi, Mrs. Eric. I don't know why Mrs. Eric, or is it Mrs. and Eric? Maybe he meant.
What?
I don't think Drunken Wes saw before.
Never know. Depends on what state Drunken One's in at the moment.
Then he said great charity, and then later he said LL, laughing at our messing around there with Todd. So, but no, so that was interesting. I just popped in my head there about how nobody made that kick after talking all that mess. Yeah.
Oh, I could make that 43-yarder.
It's only 43.
Yeah.
It's only 43 yards.
Instead of Mrs. Eric, Drunken was it Miss Eric? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? I don't know why the Miss is coming up. So
unless there's some senorita in here that I don't know about. And she's right behind me somewhere.
You better watch out what you're saying, dude. I know you got a lady at home.
I don't know.
She don't watch this. I'm good.
All right.
Come on, Eric. I need a subscriber. I don't know if you guys saw the post I did earlier on the Facebook page about the guy in Vietnam who the doctors had to administer 15 cans of beer to save his life.
What?
Do you guys see that one?
No, I didn't see that.
So there was a guy basically in Vietnam, and I guess they were getting after it. And to basically save the guy, when they were doing the operation or the surgery, they had to administer it was like 15 cans of beer. They had to take out from in what he had in him and then administer it back, because apparently when you drink, if you drink too much alcohol poisoning with Shannon, you'll know this again too, probably, it gets into your bloodstream. When there was so much alcohol in his bloodstream, they had to pull it out, but they had to also put in alcohol to keep him alive.
Yeah.
Which is
so
interesting.
Like not to crash the system by removing it all so fast.
Exactly. And that was kind of interesting. I was like, whoa.
I've never heard of that, but it makes sense.
Yeah. So apparently it worked, I guess, with this guy in Vietnam, but prescribed 15 cans of beer to save his life after he was diagnosed with a dangerous level of methanol.
I mean, that's some fast thinking by the doctors, because I'm sure that's not something that they do all the time.
I don't know.
Give him an IV of Bud Light.
Yeah.
Stat.
I don't know how to get down in Vietnam, but they get down.
They make it work.
I was thinking the other Hangover movie was Vietnam or something, wasn't it? So apparently they party well over there. I mean, that's to the point of almost like Nikki Sixx. You died for 15 minutes, and you wake up in the back of an ambulance.
I was thinking about getting one of them breathalyzers off of Groupon. Like at-home breathalyzers.
Yeah.
Because we have parties sometimes, and I'd just like to see how drunk everybody is. Especially
Speaking of that, Rod,
liquor. Huh?
Speaking of that, Rod, didn't you have an article posted up somewhere where the cops were there was some law where the cops could go right to their houses and take breathalyzers? I was like,
well, that was in Canada, wasn't it?
So in Canada, that was another article I posted on the Facebook page. And Eric Gilbert, if you're still there, if you want to comment on it, because you'll know what's going on there as well. But apparently in Canada, if you leave a bar or whatever, I guess the police were following you, they come to your house and ask you to take a breathalyzer or whatever to see how sober you are. And if you're like over the limit, they can ticket you in your house.
That's where having one of the Ring doorbells comes in place. Where you're just like, I hear you knocking, but you can't come in.
and like Dan from Booze Reviews had posted a piece like a guy had returned bottles to one of the places because they get recycling in Canada for their beer bottles, and police had asked him to take a breathalyzer after he returned them. Like thinking he was like, no, I haven't been drinking, but he was just returning bottles. So Canada's getting a little crazy there for sure.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Eric Gilbert said that's in Ontario. So that's where Rob Ford is, the bucket beer guy that he's trying to do there. So yeah. So that's like where Albino Rhino is. Off the connectors there. Chris, I think Chris is near Ontario. I might be wrong on that. Red Beer's North Bay, so he's not there. Greg is there. So a couple of the guys that we know.
So what happens if they go, I'm not taking a breathalyzer, I'm already home?
I don't know. I wouldn't answer the door myself.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they can enforce that if you're like sitting home. I mean,
I don't know if there's constitutional law there in Canada, but I'm just like not answering the door. I mean, you keep.
Well, I wouldn't answer. I'd be looking out the window and be like, "Nah, sorry, I'm not home."
I mean, I wonder how often that happens, though. Because we have laws here.
It's a new thing. I think it's a new thing. They're just starting now. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's like laws. You can't cheat on somebody, or you can't do certain sexual acts. They're not like peeking in on your window.
So what would keep them from just randomly knocking on doors? Say you're having a party, like say Super Bowl night, and they just go knocking on doors and and you answer the door, and you're obviously not been anywhere. You're drinking at home, and you're past the limit or whatever, and they say here breathalyzer. At that point, you're worried against theirs, they're going to win.
I believe you actually have to be like shown to be driving the cars like that and everything coming back to the house or something. I think if you're there doing anything, I don't think they can. I think it's like if they see you leave a bar and you drove home, either they didn't stop you, they can come and knock and ask you to do it, I guess. I don't know.
It seems like a really gray, shady area, though, because it's like your word against theirs at that point, I would think.
Well, then you answer the door with a beer in your hand already, right? It's like,
right. Yeah, they'll get you for open container or something,
Yeah,
and
but what
then
if you come home and then you drink when you're at home, and then they come
Yeah.
over?
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like if you never left anywhere,
No,
Super
but
Bowl,
if you went out and you were drinking, and then you came home and started drinking some more, and they came to your door.
Yeah.
How could they prove that in court?
Yeah, that doesn't even make
I
sense.
have no idea. This is something they're trying to do, I guess. So, Ethan's beer reviews. What's up? He says what's up, and Drogan said thanks for sparing me, Rod. I think going back to the whole the misses. I don't know what's going on there, but anyway. Ethan said Canada boo, USA yay. Drogan says I quit bugging out. How is the chat? Chat is good, Drogan. You can always bug out. And then Eric Gilbert says it won't hold up in court. And Eric's actually up there in Canada. So it'll be interesting to see when they try to put some cases forward, but I don't see how it can hold up.
I wouldn't think so.
I think it's like an overextension of their government and stuff on that type of front. I'm like, why are you guys worried about the beer? You just legalize weed there. They legalize weed, so it's like I don't know why they're messing with the beer. Oh yeah, for recreational.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Why, you thinking about going to Canada now? Do you remember where else?
I went to Canada a long time ago.
Yeah.
Believe me.
Canada's fun. Oh, so that was the other piece I saw this week. So 2 Burlington police officers, Burlington, Vermont, were accused of drinking confiscated beer.
Oh, God.
So they pretty much took 2, I guess, beer from a party or like that and everything, but what do you do with the beer when you confiscate it? I mean, it is a perishable, so apparently these cops like to get drinking.
All right.
I'll guarantee you.
Well, what about the coke and
the weed and the coke and everything else? They're like, hey, we're having a party this weekend.
Yeah.
We had a great bus. You guys don't bring anything. We're good. Just bring a lot of snacks.
Yeah.
Which is always like a thing. If you see someone takes a beer from a party, you have to wonder, like, what are you going to do with it? I mean, that's just something you're thinking in your mind. Like, what are you going to do with it? You know?
Yeah. What do you think?
It's like if they say you got to pour it out, well, you got to pour it out just right there, right? So it's poured out. But if they take it, it's like, wait a minute, what are you doing?
Yeah, we'll take that. Make sure.
Yeah, this is going to the evidence locker.
We'll put it in the locker.
Yeah.
Drunken one said, "Hey Google, plane flight to Canada."
Make that for 3, drunken
That's
one.
where we should go for vacation to Canada.
Toronto was fun. I like to go to Vancouver though at some point too.
Well, we were wanting to go someplace like outdoorsy, but I'm thinking it's going to be the middle of the summer. We're going to go on hikes and all that stuff when it's 100 degrees outside. So I'm like, well, the further north we go, the cooler it'd be. So if we went to Canada, then we'd be good. I mean, it'd probably be like.
Yeah, I don't know what the temperatures are in the middle of summer.
Well, surely it's not 100 degrees.
Canada, but
if you go to the parks while the government shut down, you get in for free right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, we'll probably also get mugged and run into a meth lab and all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah, apparently people are just going to the bathroom everywhere there now too. It's kind of a mess along those lines. They said people were like just shitting in the woods and trashing the place, and the bears are like, "Hey, you take that inside."
Yeah. God.
Jeez.
Well, I've been thinking I like to go hiking, and I've thought about going hiking here lately, but it's been so cold, and it's been so rainy and muddy, and.
Well, I got one of my good buddies for years. He goes on hikes and stuff. He's a former Marine, and one of the places he likes to go is actually where Eric's at, Michigan. He goes to Michigan to he had a lot of hiking trails up there. He says so. He usually goes up there every couple of years and does hiking stuff and has a good time.
Yeah, northern Michigan, you can hike for miles and miles.
Well, I'm not like a super active person, but I love to go on a good hike. I love it. I love to be outside. And we have this, it's a church, and it's like a sanctuary. It's like a Catholic church. They have monks and stuff up there, but they have this trail, and it goes around this big lake. Oh, it's so nice.
Yeah.
But, you know,
here's something that Rogue Ales, their pubs are giving a 50% food, 25% beer discount to Coast Guard members that are also furloughed right now.
It's insane.
Which out there, I mean, in Oregon and around that area where Rogue is out of, I mean, I'm sure they have a lot of pubs that are right there on that coastline where a lot of Coast Guard patrols. So good for them for doing something too.
Yeah, that's the one. Our in Louisville, the like Maine Electric Company, they're doing like assistance for the shutdown people. Fort Knox Credit Union, and their fancy salon here is doing it. And then there's a diaper place, and then at the Metro United Way, they're all helping people in Louisville that are affected by the government shutdown.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is. More people should be, honestly.
Drunken one is still stuck on. He's like, let's try this again. Hi, Eric.
Mrs.
Hi,
Eric?
drunken one.
Pot infused craft beers hit San Diego shelves. So now you got that on the shelves because they actually they made weed recreational as well.
But Rod, weren't you talking about like last week or the week before about pot infused beers, but they didn't have alcohol in them?
Yeah, there were some pot infused beers that didn't have alcohol, but they gave you, I guess, more of the simulation of with the marijuana. Now, I went to Lagunitas and met with them, and they have marijuana infused water, so it doesn't have like the beer, but it kind of gives you the effects of marijuana.
Yeah,
and those are at dispensaries they had out there in California, but apparently now we're getting some of the, since California has allowed it to go forward to have like weed beer, they have that available. Now the weed beer has a 0.5% ABV is what they're saying on this report, but it's got more of the THC involved, I guess. So it's, the brew contains 10 milligrams of THC per bottle and less than 0.5% ABV. So the THC molecules have to be activated first. We activate them as part of our chemistry and infusion process. It says, Henderson said it should take about 20 to 30 minutes to feel the effects of the beer, which is something to also keep in mind because
yeah, you might have 6 beers down by then.
Well, the thing is, like, I have friends that have tried like the marijuana like snacks, right? So they think, well, this isn't doing anything.
Yeah.
And it's like they have the brownies or they have whatever their cookies wherever they're at and that, and they say it's a delayed response. So by that point, they're about 4 or 5 in, trying to figure out how to get anything. And then when it hits them, it's just like
wiped out.
Yeah, everything's coming out of them in a way they can't really handle. So if you do try these, make sure you pace yourself and you know what you're doing.
That's kind of how alcohol works for me. Like, this isn't doing anything, so I keep drinking, and then I'm shit-faced in half an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I used to be in college where grain alcohol used to hit us like that. You drink grain, you don't really taste anything, and then all of a sudden you stand up and the whole room would spin on you.
Yeah. You're laying on your back somewhere.
It's like, yeah, I'm going to need a minute here. You guys go on, I'll catch up.
You get my bearings straight.
Yeah. And Ethan says, if anything, this shows how much the government is involved with everything, and when they're shut down, a lot of people are affected. A wake-up call. Well, kind of and not kind of, I guess. I mean, you got to have the government regulate stuff. We talked about it earlier. You don't want anybody just making stuff and putting labels on it either. You want to have some type of regulation in play. But there are some things where the government probably doesn't need to be involved as well.
Like labeling?
Yeah. Well, labeling, you want them in labeling now. Because you want to, that was the whole thing when they brought back after Prohibition. People were putting all kinds of stuff in to do the formula on whatever they were serving. And you had no precaution, you know what it was, and people were dying from it. So you don't want people just out there willy-nilly labeling stuff that might not be the actual thing. So I can see that. But then there's other stuff that might be better off not having the government involved in as well. But when you're dealing with something being consumed by the public, it's hard to really fault them on that. But other stuff, Hello, Cody. Welcome. Cody Stark says he's here. Cody always likes to catch our streams when we do it, so glad you can make it. I think he's been working mainly before. Drunken One, like the background. Fancy. Well, thank you, sir. I'm just screwing around with a little OBS here. And then Cody said, I family time with my cousin. I had a Choco Libre salted caramel porter and a new one by Shorts and Lagunitas. So which one did you have by Shorts and which one by Lagunitas? I got a salted caramel actually here. And I heard the Choco Libre was actually pretty good too. Eric Gilbert said, "Puff puff give." There's some stories I can't relate on the channel from back in the day, but yeah. Some people, they talk too much, they forget to puff puff. You get 2 puffs and give. That's how it works. But the Lagunitas Shorts collab was called Not an Official, and it was really good IPA. Oh wow! So Lagunitas and Shorts did a collab together. There you go, Eric. That'd be something interesting to check out.
Did they put the ABV on the can or the bottle?
Did they put the ABV on it? Good question, Cody. Did you see an ABV on there? If it was Lagunitas,
that's my biggest stink with those guys.
Well, if it was
that's my biggest stink with Shorts.
If it was a Lagunitas beer, they probably did. If it was Shorts, that would be questionable. And let's see here. Eric Gilbert said, I say it's time to buy some legal buds. And Cody says, hello, Eric and Lions fan.
What's going on?
As well, Rod. And Cody says, going to have Hop Slam from Bell's now. So he's going to enjoy a Hop Slam. What do you think about Hop Slam, Eric? Where do you rate that? Do you think it's overrated? Do you think it's well-deserved? Do you think
overhyped?
Overhyped? Okay. Because I enjoy it once in a while.
All those. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I enjoy it once in a while. Usually we get it at our beer fests and stuff. So, but I think some people do think it's overhyped.
I just think it's all the IPAs are just there. I've had enough now to where there's no real big difference between one IPA and the other. Now it all kind of blends together. I mean, you have different styles, but for the IPA overall, like a regular IPA, they all taste the same. And double IPAs, they all taste the same.
Yeah.
So to me, I think it's just way overhyped.
Well, we talked earlier. Tonight was the first time I finally had a high life from Cigar City because it's here in Kentucky now. And I had it at one of the restaurants, and it was underwhelming for what I was expecting after all the hype that was around it. It was a good IPA. It just wasn't to the level like people have been kind of crediting, I thought. But I definitely agree there. And Ethan.
Well, God forbid you smack a beer like that gets overhyped, and someone goes, "It's okay. I'm a little disappointed." And go, God, everyone like, what?
You know what I do? I do like The Rock, and I say, "Bring it." I do like The Rock.
Can you smell?
I start calling them all jabronis.
What The Rock is cooking.
Maybe when I get home, Rod, maybe when I get home, I'll take a picture of Keystone Line and post it on the Beer Coalition and watch everyone go nuts.
Well, the Beer Coalition is usually a little more tame. It's that League of Extraordinary Beer Drinkers that gets all crazy.
Eric, you do that, you'll definitely get a little poke from the Beer Whisperer.
Yeah.
Still out there?
But you know what?
Yes, I will.
He actually appreciates Eric's humor, but some of the guys in the league, oh my God. It's
it's
like he stepped on their dog or something. Speaking of dog,
Go ahead, Todd.
No, I was gonna say when he pokes fun, it's in good fun when he's doing that to Eric.
Yeah.
I'm putting it on the League Extraordinary. I'm putting best beer ever. Change my mind.
Ethan said, what do you think will be the trend in beer wise for 2019? Well, I think we're in a situation now as I saw a couple more come out this last week. Brewed IPAs are going to be big this year because everybody's chasing that like they were last year with the New England IPAs.
Yeah.
I think a play that may happen at some point might be a point getting to a sour IPA. I think that's something that hasn't been done yet. So I think that will be something of a next trend. I think a couple of breweries have kind of looked that way on some stuff, but that could be an opportunity. Away from that, I think the other thing would be we're going to have more craft brewing lagers. We're going to have more craft breweries making more lagers now because I think that people are asking for more lagers to come out. So we're going to see that. I'm not going to say they're going to be hoppy type lagers, but they're going to be some type of crossover to get more lagers, which I think will actually help craft brewing because it'll get more people into the breweries that are your main macro drinkers as well. So I don't know what you guys think. Anything that you're thinking there might be for trending.
Well, I was hoping to maybe go off of like for a stout, age it in something else other than bourbon barrels, but
Look,
I know
Eric,
bourbon barrels are the thing now for.
We know you want brandy. Okay, we know that. We know you're pushing for the brandy.
I want a stout aged in brandy barrels. Okay.
Are most stouts aged in some kind of barrel?
Bourbon most of the time.
See, I don't. But the stouts that I've had are they? Because I hate bourbon.
No, you can get it right.
Not all are. It's just when they barrel them, a lot of them would use the bourbon barrels to do it.
And that's like wine. I like wine a lot, but if it says oak, any kind of oak, like it's been in oak barrels, I hate it. It's awful.
Well, your wine barrels are oak too, though.
Yeah, I hate like
she's more white wine drinker.
Yeah, I'm not but most white wines, those are the ones that are like
I like sweeter though.
I like sweet red or mostly any kind of white.
Well, you should watch, Shannon. You should watch the video I did on the Dogfish Head red and white. That was like when they did with wine. That was one you probably would like as well.
I'll check it out.
And then, what else? Anything else you're thinking for any trends or Todd or?
I'm thinking at some point, I don't know about this year, but maybe in the next year or two, that breweries will start coming back to like the, let's say, old school style, original kind of styles. I think maybe.
Yeah.
Just because it seems like they've gotten so far away from like your standard IPAs or your, regular porters or whatnot. I mean, I know most of the breweries still have their base stuff or whatever, but I kind of see maybe in the near future, well, I say maybe a couple years away from now, that they'll be kind of coming back to, like everything kind of cycles, like periods, with clothing or just styles in general. Like I don't know, at some point that's going to have to come back to just like the kind of what started it all, your standard stuff.
Yeah, I think, you're getting back to the roots, but I think that you hit on that, for instance, I've seen some breweries, for instance, launching more Schwartz beers, which is an old style. So they're kind of getting a more traditional type feel along those lines that might come out, or some of the other ones that might be older styles that haven't been out in a while. So maybe that'll.
Yeah, but I could definitely see like your Pilsner and all that, like you were saying, which seems like kind of backwards. Is like you would think they would have started out that way just to kind of get people leaning towards their stuff, not wait to this point to do that.
Yeah. And then let me see here. I had a lot more comments popped up than I expected there. Let me see here. Ethan think it will be a variety of different things happening. Cody said Shorts didn't put an ABV. Sorry, guys. So it was Shorts that did it. So, yeah, so Shorts has not been putting ABVs on their bottles now. And then Drunken One said Cody Stark, howdy, bro. And Cody said Untapped says 6.1%. So I think that was on the beer from Lagunitas and Shorts collab. He says sour IPA sounds good. Yeah. And Eric Gilbert said I had a few sour IPAs from Town Brewery. Pretty tasty. Yeah, I think there's an opportunity there for that area. Drunken One says that makes sense. Ethan said that's good. This lagers, that's our flagship beer where I work, LL. Yeah, I mean, people are definitely asking for more lagers and looking for more lager opportunities out there. So, I think breweries hear what they're saying. You're seeing more of these breweries kind of do that now. Cody said, I think I'm getting my cousin into craft a bit. He tried Pigeon Hill Caramel Salted Porter, said he could see how someone would like it. First positive comment. Well, there you go, Cody. Bring him on board, son. Get him on the craft beer starship. And Ethan says, man, I wish I could join this panel and talk about barrels for days and why you don't see variety in barrel-aged beers. Yeah, so we'll probably not go. We'll probably end at some point because we've been going since 9:15. But, Ethan, what I'll do is I'll drop you a message out. If you're freed up this weekend, that would actually be a good panel show. That would do maybe like a hangout and do something like that to talk about barrel-aged beers. Let me know if you're interested in that as well. Cody says, but hey, if you like Smelling Light, that's cool too. A little shout out to Eric there maybe as well.
I'm on your side, Eric.
Yeah. Eric Gilbert says Stout aged Côte d'Aron cast. So I've not had Côte d'Aron. I don't know if that's a Canadian whiskey up there, but any stout and barrel I'm pretty much down for the most part. Drunken Ones, that dog looks a bit like my sister. And I think Drunken One's sentence fell apart there.
Like the dog looks like your sister? God.
It said that dog looks, it says OA, bit like my sister, and this says M. Eric.
What the hell, Drunken One? What the hell, brother?
Well,
What the hell?
very cute.
Yeah. Elbow says Mike Seymour.
Drunken One, puff, puff, pass. You gotta pass.
Yeah. Elbow says Mike Seymour hemp beers. Hemp beers are a possibility, as you're going to definitely see more THC infused beers as well. That's a big thing now with some of the states doing. Like right now, one of the pieces talked about the G20 from Sweetwater being a beer that people should try. That's popping up in a lot of places too. So hemp beer, that'll be good. And Cody says, yep, I would like to see them giving back to the originals, talking about going back to the roots. And Drunken One says she's got a bigger mustache, so my sister.
That sounds like me and my brother.
Drunken One, I hope she doesn't watch this. She's gonna kick your ass.
Ethan says, I see. I got to go to the Cleveland Beer Festival Friday and Saturday. Yeah, let me know if you want to do something, because that will be an interesting topic. I'd love to talk more about the barrel-aged beer stuff. And Eric Gilbert says, Brut has gotten fairly popular in beer lately, champagne styles and IPAs. Yeah. I've had a couple of the Bruts. I've liked that couple that they were good, but they didn't really win me over as much. I think it depends on what you have and where you have them from as well too. So just like any style.
I still haven't tried one.
Sierra Nevada just launched theirs like 2 weeks ago, I think.
Oh, they did?
That's out now. That'll be everywhere. Sierra Nevada.
So like Brut style, kind of like.
I haven't done theirs yet.
I like that Sierra Nevada Pale Ale a lot.
That's a classic. Yeah.
So pale ale, would that be closer to like a cream ale? Like, is it like a cream and then a pale, or?
No, pale ale.
Or my way off.
Yeah, pale ale is gonna be more bitter. I mean, it's like an India pale ale, except India is more hopped.
India pale ale is IPA, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Eric Gilbert said Costa Rhone is a French wine, so he had a wine barrel. That's what he's talking about. Stout aged in wine barrel casks. That would be that could work, man. And then Cody said, always trying to get his cousin into it. Tried all day IPA. He hated it over a year ago, but loves craft now. And so it's neat to see how it can create so many different beers that are different. But he said he still loves Bud Ice. So.
Me and that
Yeah. Hell yeah, brother.
Which I've never had anything wrong with Bud Ice.
Rod, did I give you in one of the beer mail packages a Caesar's Gimp from Perrin?
No, I didn't get that
Joe?
one. That might have been Joe. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was like a stout aged in Merlot barrels.
Damn, son. That sounds good.
Okay. So, Rod, your favorite beer style is Belgian, right?
Belgian is overwhelming. Yes.
Okay. Eric, what's your favorite beer style?
Anything with coconut.
No, coconut is.
You keep getting me confused because you don't like coconut.
No,
Joe
loves coconut.
Joe loves it.
Joe loves it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Probably my favorite beer style is probably lager every once in a while, but I usually drink the macros, and there hasn't been really a lager out there from a craft brewery that I care for. I mean, I tried the Solid Gold by Founders, and I found that to be pretty subpar, to be honest.
Have you ever done the toasted lager from Blue Point? Try that one. I don't know if you get it there. You should. If you don't get it there, let me know. But I can get it here. But they actually do a nice lager.
I want us to go to the liquor store, and I want us to buy Saison. Is that the one? And then there's another one. Goose.
Goza.
Yeah.
You talking about Goza? Or you talking about Goose?
Yeah. No,
Goose is like a lambic style, but you talking about Goza.
Goose.
Yeah.
Those were the two beers in my research that I found I never heard of. So I want to send everybody some of those, and then we can all talk about them.
Shannon's really getting on board with this whole craft beer thing, Eric. So
Yeah, I bought a book.
You were talking about earlier. She got a book and everything now. So
Well,
Is
it's
it the
not here
1001
yet.
beers you got to try before you die, Shannon?
No,
what is the
no,
book you have?
it's more about the basics.
Styles and
Oh, okay. All
tasting notes, maybe, or whatever.
I don't know. It had a lot of reviews, and it was like beginner's beer guide or something like that. Craft beer guide.
That's cool though.
So
She's gonna be
it probably
educated
won't last
Todd.
long. Hmm?
What'd you say?
That's so you'll be educated Todd pretty soon.
Yeah, I could use it probably.
It won't last. I'll move on to something else real fast.
She'll be like, Todd, that's a tanning you taste.
Yeah.
We should go to school to be sommeliers.
Yeah.
Well,
That'd be
in
good.
beer, you want to be a cicerone.
A cicerone?
Yeah.
Well, then we should go to school to be cicerones. Where can we do that? You want to?
No idea.
He won't do it.
No. I mean, I don't know where you go to school for that.
When you start online. You just do it online, take the first test.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I did that. Rod, you said we were going to do a beer quiz.
Well, I was going to do beer trivia earlier, but it's kind of late
Now
now.
it's
So
too late.
maybe we'll do like a hangout this weekend on beer trivia. Because I got like a thing I was going to do.
I'm going to fail that one so bad.
Oh, I will too. I've been taking some. I got because I like quizzes online, so I did look up like craft beer quizzes but my phone wouldn't work with some of them because you had to like drag and what's it drag and
Drag and drop.
yeah, drag and drop, and my phone wouldn't do it. But it wasn't very craft. It was like very general.
Well, if you guys are around this weekend, I'll set it up and we'll do like a hangout doing beer trivia. And then you can
I got to
your
work this
knowledge.
weekend, so but I could but I probably would still, even if I wasn't there, I'd watch it so I could learn. Todd probably would like to do that.
Yeah, so let me know I'm around this weekend. So
There you go.
Yeah, you don't have any plans, do you?
nope.
Todd told you I got my revenge on them in Madden, right? He told you that.
Everybody gets the revenge on Todd
Yeah.
Madden.
I don't know. I can hold my own against Rod, so I like playing him.
Apparently not the last game.
Not the last game, no. Notice how I didn't mention the 2 or 3 games before that, though.
No, we've been playing Mortal Kombat. Okay, so Mortal Kombat was my game. We got it for the PS4 a while back, so we decided to play it again. My daughter has been back down there practicing so she can whoop my ass. I'm like, this isn't even any fun. And me and Todd can play.
It sounds like I ain't playing no more.
Yeah, she's been down there learning all the moves and stuff, and I'm like, I just want to hit buttons.
Who usually wins out of you and Todd?
Todd always wins everything. So when I do win, I rub it in his face so bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
does she?
My move is face. I go face. He hates it.
You see here. So Cody said he almost got a brewed IPA today, but about to spend his money on it yet. So yeah, I mean, there's different. Like I said, it's going to be like any style. You might have some you may like, some you may not, but you know, you just got to jump in there. I would say most likely if you're looking for a brewed IPA that might be more of a trustworthy type thing, I would probably look at the Sierra Nevada, just because they're usually pretty solid on their beer line. And since they launched one, it might be a nice way to wade into that type of style. And then Cody says, I want to try beer aged in Dog Creek by New Belgium eventually. I'm a good whiskey guy. Whiskey Smile, Solid Gold was okay, but I agree that Eric Alliance fan about talking about the Solid Gold. And one of our breweries here, they did Knob Creek. It was Corruption by Wooden Cask, and that was really good. They did their stout in the Knob Creek barrels. Eric says, oh, yes, the stout worked. Bring out the Imp, aged in Coasterone, Cask, American Imperial Stout, Scottish beer. Cody said it would be cool to join you guys on one of the Thursdays off. Yeah, I might do like, I was thinking about doing something kind of like a hangout Thursday or something away from maybe like the beer, for kind of like if viewers want to hang out and maybe come on type thing as well. So that could be a possibility. And Drunken One says, I like her too. Do we really need old Todd? So I think Drunken One said he likes Shannon more than Todd.
Wait, what was that again? Drunken One.
He says, "LOL."
Wait, I'm still waiting for my beef jerky from Drunken One. So now you owe me double time just for that.
He says, Cody says, I noticed this hop slam is pretty sweet. That's right. I feel about a sweetness. So he's saying these hop slams. And I haven't had this year's edition hop slam, so I can't really talk about it yet. But eventually, I may pick it up here. I don't know if I've ever done a review in the channel on hop slam. Now I think about it, I just had it at the beer festival, so I may pick up something at some point. I saw
there's plenty of it out there.
I saw 5 bottles of CBS in our store here locally, like just sitting there, like in a cooler.
Yeah, we still have some sitting there too.
Yeah.
CBS.
What's that?
Canadian Breakfast Stout from the Founders.
It was $28.99 a bottle at the store I was at.
That's why they're still sitting there.
What's the one that Donnie got you? Wasn't it that Founders beer?
Yeah, it was CBS.
Oh, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Did you drink it yet?
I still got it downstairs. Eric actually sent one to us too.
Did he?
Cody says,
Yeah, I might get one of those. I might get a hop slam this weekend if they're still around. But that's just a lot. That's just a lot for a 4, or is it a 4-pack or 6-pack? That's a 4-pack, isn't it?
They're 4-pack hop slams.
Yeah. But I like it though, and it's just once a year, so it's kind of one of those things you just kind of make an exception for, I guess.
So, like when I would want to buy a gift for Todd, I would never know what to buy him, so I'd go to the liquor store and I'd just look like for the most expensive bottle of beer because I knew he would never buy it. So I think I bought him like this $50 bottle of beer, and was it any good?
Whoa,
that's pretty good.
Do you remember what it was?
It's like one of the Black Alberts, I think it was, or whatever. I'd have to look it up on Untappd now. I think it was Black Albert.
Must have not been that memorable.
No, it was good, but I mean, they make them like different.
Yeah.
Like number 7 or something. I can't remember what.
Yeah, I didn't know if it'd be any good, but I'm like.
But it was also a big. I mean.
Yeah, it was like a wine bottle. It was a big bottle. Yeah, it was like a wine bottle.
It was like a 750 or something. It was bigger than that.
Yeah, but because I mean, I still don't know enough to go into the liquor store and buying something, but you know, I was like, he would never ever buy himself that, so I was like, I'll get that for him because they had like 3 different types, I think.
Yeah, it was the same.
Yeah,
same one, just different versions.
If it was a Utopia, Eric would. I mean, Todd would have known. That's a Sam Adams Utopia.
I had that a few years ago.
Yeah, I've never had it. I've never seen it around here.
Actually, one of our neighbors had one. Yeah, one of our neighbors had one for at Halloween, and he didn't like it, so he's like, "Here, drink it." Yeah. Needless to say, I pretty much drank the whole bottle that night. It's like 24% alcohol or something. Oh
my god!
What is it, like $300 for 12 ounces or something?
And they go from
16.
I think a regular bottle is like $120 or something, but they'll sell for like $200 or $300 if you get them off. You know,
where the hell did he pay for that?
No, so our neighbor, like, he owns his own like gym, or is like co-owner of a gym. So somebody, I don't know how he partnered up with somebody that makes hand rolls their own cigars or something. And somehow or another, like Goose Allen or Utopia, he partnered with them to do like a special cigar for that beer. So we got like 5 or 6, maybe 10 Utopias for doing the cigars for him. And so he gave a couple of them to my neighbor, and he was like, "Here, you ever had one of these?" I was like, "Oh my god, I've never seen one before," you know, because they're so rare to find, and they, you know. So I was like, "Yeah, I'll take it." And he's like, "I don't like it. You can have the rest of it." I'm like,
"What
all
kind
right."
of beer is it? Is it like an IPA or a?
That's more like a. It's kind of more along the lines of like a.
It's like it's like almost like a whiskey or something, or a brand. Yeah, you drink it in 1 ounce servings usually.
Yes. Oh wow!
Yeah, you're supposed to.
It lasts.
So you drink the whole bottle, and you're only supposed to drink it in 1 ounce servings.
Yeah. Well, that was through the whole night, though. That was in the whole night. Though.
Proud of you.
Yeah. Don't remember much after that, but.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like literally up until.
It's more like it's more along like a wee heavy type.
Yeah.
Wheat.
Scotch ale. Kind of similar to Scotch ale, like we had.
Oh, okay. Well, see, if Scotch is in the word, I'm automatically turned off.
Yeah.
But that didn't taste anything like Scotch last night.
No, it's not. It's more like a wee heavy.
But like up until Todd got into craft beer, which was probably since we've moved here, so like within the last 5 years.
No, before that, we was going to
the
zoo way before then.
Yeah, but not as heavy as you are into it now. Anyway, I'd seen him like in 15 years that we've been together at that point, drunk maybe 10 times, you know, and really probably not that many times because everybody always says he has a hollow leg. Is that what they say? Yeah. Because he just drink and drink and drink and never get drunk. But, you know, since we've moved here, you've been more in the craft beers. I've seen you probably that many times drunk since we've moved here. So we're up to what, 20 in 20 years?
Yeah, maybe once a year.
Yeah. Him, he can't even keep counting how many times he's seen me drunk. Can you?
Pretty much every time you drink. It's countless after this point.
Yeah, we weren't drunk at Beer Festival. We felt good, so.
Yeah. Are you going to that one this year, Rod, or do you know yet?
I don't know yet. I'm not volunteering because I already booked up, but I haven't decided yet. I'm still looking at it to see.
But you should make plans, and we should go to the Taxman thing.
Well, the one I'd like to go to the one in the hangar or whatever. I'd like to try to get down there for that one year.
Well, yeah, get tickets to come. That's coming up in about 3 weeks or so.
About 3 weeks, so okay.
If you can still get tickets, I've already got mine, so come on up. She's got to work that weekend, so I'm going by myself.
We got a bedroom and a bathroom you can have for the night.
There you go.
No, for sure. Yeah, you should come up and do that one.
All right. Yeah, I'll take a look.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, I remember when John was trying to get me to come down that one a couple years ago. So I need to get out to more festivals so I can get some more videos and stuff and see some of the guys I know and everything that are covering them.
But if you don't do that one, though, we should do the. I've never been to the one at Taxman, but that's a Belgian style brewery, so you would definitely like that one for sure.
No, he needs to come to Festivals. That's the best one ever. Do you think that's the best one?
Festivals is good. Yeah, that's good.
What's your favorite though?
Man, that's probably my favorite.
Yeah, Festivals is the best one. It's like in June.
Tailspins.
Is it?
Maybe better.
Do you freeze your ass off there though?
No, that's chilly, but it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in a hangar, so you don't get all the freezing stuff. But
speaking of freezing your ass off, what's the temperature right now?
Oh, it's probably 30s.
It was actually 40 here tonight.
Yeah, it's 40s.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. But it feels so much colder than it has been.
We got that storm coming through, though. I don't know if that's going to affect your flight tomorrow or not, Eric, but we're supposed to get blasted by snow.
Yeah, it's 41 degrees right now. It's not bad.
Well, if I got to stay another day in Mexico City, I'll be in 70-degree weather.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's terrible.
Shut up. Don't be so jealous. Be happy for your friend.
I am happy.
No, you're not.
I'm used to it. I'm used to it.
You're used to 70-degree weather or my husband being an asshole?
A little bit of both.
I'm not going to go that far.
Choose your words carefully, Eric. Choose your words carefully.
Let's see here.
I think I'm going to go over here now.
Yeah. No, I'm breaking up. I can't. Gotta jump off here.
And then Cody says, sorry, I've had a few beers tonight. LMAO. I know I won't be driving. Get all my snacks and beer here at home. So, yeah, because Eric's going to give you the PSA here pretty soon. So, you don't want to be drinking. And a Whiskey Throttle, welcome. He said, what's up? So, Whiskey Throttle's in the house. And if you ever want to learn about whiskey, you should definitely check out Whiskey Throttle's channel because he does a lot of good stuff there as well. Cody says, didn't buy a 6-pack. It's almost $20 here for Hop Slam, which Hop Slam for I mean, if you're getting one, I think it's usually a 4-pack, but if you get it in a 6-pack for $20, it's actually a steal.
Yeah, it's $18.99 for a 4-pack here.
Yeah, and then Cody said, because it's just a single. We were talking about the CBS, and Eric Gilbert said, geez, $2.80 for CBS is $9 in Ontario. Yeah, but your $9 in Ontario is for the 12-ounce, and it's the $7.50 that we're looking at here. But if you actually get a better value for your 12 ounces than we get for what we get screwed on. But anyway, CBS isn't one.
Yeah, we get hosed.
Yeah. And then we had Learn and Habit. Welcome, Learn and Habit said welcome everyone. So Learn and Habit, check out that channel too. And Whiskey Throttle says, excuse me, I am turned on by Scotch because we talked about Scotch earlier. So Whiskey Throttle loves his Scotch whiskeys. And then Cody said to Eric,
the goose.
Is it ice in that part of Michigan? And Todd, I'm like that too about the hollow leg. LOL.
I I haven't seen any ice, and goodness, I like ice. I don't know if he's talking about ice fishing or not, but I haven't seen any ice on any of the lakes or anything, so it's been too warm.
And then Whiskey said to me, she's going to tell us all of Todd's secrets.
He doesn't have
Quiet.
And then Red Beard said, what be going down? And Whiskey thought I gave him a hello. Red Beard in the house. And he said, cheers. Thank you, Learn to Habit. She said, like giving. So I appreciate that. Yeah, hitting that like button, of course, always helps out. And Eric Gilbert said, cheers and good night, guys. I'm out. I'm all out of beer and buds. So he's out of both right now. Whiskey Throttle said it's minus 20 Celsius here. Stop your whining. So Whiskey Throttle's up there too in Canada. So
minus 20 Celsius.
Yeah. Red Beard said only minus 9 here. So he's in Canada too.
Damn.
Celsius as well.
Oh, Celsius.
Then he says balmy LOL. Whiskey Throttle said thanks for the shout out. And Cody says it's super ivy here. Oh, super icy here, I think he meant. Is the government shutdown affecting beer for you? We keep coming back to the shutdown talk tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, we haven't been affected too much as of yet. Some of the breweries here have made some comments about how it can affect things, but right now things are still being able to be put out. In fact, tomorrow at Braxton Labs, we have a new beer release even taking place. So we'll see what happens over the next couple of weeks, though, because I think things are going to get definitely tighter. Drunken One says hello to Red, and Red says cheers back to Drunken One. And then Cody tried to say Ivy, and he realized he misspelled again, and he went back and did Icy. So Cody's
He's like me, his fingers are faster than he could think.
But so definitely been a great time, and I think right now we're probably gonna, it's been fun to hear. I mean, you guys gotta get up early tomorrow to go to work, and I get to sleep in for a little bit tomorrow. I gotta
catch a plane.
Yeah. And appreciate all the people that took place. And Cody says appreciate all the reviews, guys, and definitely appreciate that. And the way it's going right now, Shannon may have a channel before Todd does, so keep an eye on that as well.
I'm trying to talk him into getting one, but
we told him you should.
Yeah.
Todd brought it up to all of us, and me, Eric, and Joe all say you guys should do one.
Well, I don't know if us, but maybe I'll make a special appearance sometimes. But I could be a director.
I thought you were going to say Todd was holding you back or something.
No. I've been trying, like, Todd, you should do a channel. And I keep coming up with these names, and he's like, no. So,
we've been telling Todd for a long time to do it. Todd would do good on the channel.
I think so, too.
You're all the only ones that think it would be any good.
Well, who else has said had an opinion about it?
Just you all.
Exactly.
And myself, which is
just shut up and make a channel.
Yeah, Cody said, Eric, you must
shut up, Eric.
Cody said, Eric, you must not be in Michigan, not in your own background. No, Eric is actually in Mexico. So
Mexico City.
So he'll be flying back tomorrow.
5-hour flight back to Detroit.
Yeah.
Connecting flights, or is it a straight flight?
Straight.
That's awesome.
Oh, nice. That's good.
The Whiskey said -4 Fahrenheit is minus 20 Celsius. So so he's at -4 Fahrenheit right now. Is that with
that's pretty damn cold.
That with or without the wind chill, though. So we're supposed to be -20 next week with the wind chill.
Jesus Christ.
And that's when I say it's glad I work from home.
Yeah. Well, I work a mile from home, so my car don't even get warm by the time I get to work.
Yeah. We'll be like those people in Wisconsin. Maybe where Eric's at, they got to put this stuff on their engine, like the heaters or whatever, to get the car to start up.
Jeez.
Like Ryan on Beer by the Numbers put the block out there or whatever.
The block heaters, yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I'd die without a garage. Could you imagine?
I do it all the time, Shannon. Don't have a garage.
I got a garage.
I don't have a garage. I feel bad for you.
I don't use the garage. I just leave it in the driveway, though.
That's a garage.
Huh?
You said a garage, not a grudge.
A garage.
A grudge.
Oh, I thought he did say grudge.
No, he said a garage.
I thought he said, I don't know. Never mind.
You're tired, Shannon. You're tired.
No, I'm drunk.
Okay.
Well, I'm not really drunk, but I'm I'll use that as an excuse.
Yeah, we'll say that.
Garage. Close enough.
You're feeling good. You're feeling good.
Yes.
Did you guys finish that whole growler?
Yep.
Yep.
And we split a
Strawberry slushy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
That'll
wanted to
work.
buy that. I'm like, we won't drink all that. He's like, okay. It's gone.
It's only 2.5 beers.
That's what I say when I drink a bottle of wine. Everybody's like, you drink a whole bottle? I'm like, it's 4 glasses.
Yeah, but you drink a whole bottle by yourself.
It's 4 glasses.
Amongst 2 people.
Shut up.
Oh, Todd can't tell Shannon's secrets.
Hey, I said I drink. I
It's
said
a
I
one-way
drink.
avenue.
It should be. Totally should be.
Well, that all being said, appreciate everybody that tuned in, and thanks for everybody that watched. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Eric now, which Eric is definitely the most sober of anybody here.
Yeah. All right, guys, if you had too much to drink, please get a designated driver, because if you don't, you're going to get pulled over by the cops. They're going to make you do the stupid-ass sobriety test. They're going to make you look like a fool. Then you get a free ride to jail. Then you're going to have court fees and then possible prison time. And then if you hit or kill somebody, you guys know you're going to be in the slammer for a while. And if you kill yourself, all you've done is hurt your family and friends and put yourself 6 feet under. Just sleep off your buzz, get your car the next day. Get an Uber, a taxi, a Lyft, have the bartender get you a ride, have somebody at the bar call you to get your ride. Just please don't drive home drunk, because there's zero tolerance and thousands upon thousands of dollars you got to pay.
Thousands upon thousands. Eric does that so much well when he's sober. I mean, it's
And
just
people
like
die.
A lot different message when you're sober. Eric.
Oh, that one day it's like,
Like you're
I
like
couldn't even
me,
spit it
just
out.
don't drive.
That all being said, thanks for everybody that watched it. Again, do a little beer trivia, depending, maybe do a hangout. So if anybody's interested in a hangout, keep an eye out for that as well. And do some other stuff possibly. So I need to do some more live type things. So I appreciate everybody checking in and being here tonight. And then I'm going to try to do a little bit more and to get some more reviews put up here as well. And then also the those of you that watched really appreciated the support on the Beer Tuber Spotlight. So it was a great time with Brad and Jessica. And we did this channel, Brad Allison. So make sure you check out that. If you didn't check out the video, make sure you check out the video or check out Brad's channel. That was actually a fun time. And we'll have some more of those getting lined up. Actually, Redbeard is watching. I know Redbeard wanted to do one there, so we're going to get Redbeard at some point do his Beer Tuber Spotlight. We got Joe in the docket to get one for Joe and his Beer Patrol channel. And just recently I spoke to Kyle, so we'll have one coming from No Hype Beer Reviews. So I'm not sure of the order, but those 3 are in the queue, and then we'll get some more. And if you have a channel and you want to be featured, just let me know, leave a comment, send me a message or whatever like that. And then we'll go ahead and get you set up as well and give you a chance to spotlight your channel. That all being said, I'm going to go lay down for a little bit. They're going to go down later a little bit. I get to stay in a little bit later because I don't have to work tomorrow. And then I might even shoot some live video if I go to this beer release. I will look forward to catching you guys next time. Every Thursday night, 9:15. You can always check this in. And then we will catch up with you soon. Keep drinking those good craft beers. Remember, there's always time. Get your beer on. Cheers, everybody.